I don't know. Have we got the timer?
I don't think we do. I think we're live.
I think we're live.
Hey guys, it's me, Marcus, aka the Maddogg, and we're back with another live stream. I'm not too sure if this is actually going out just yet, so I've got the page up and it just says waiting for Maddogg Comics, so I'm going to assume it hasn't gone live yet. Let's see.
Do it again.
No, we are live.
Are we?
Are we live? What's going on?
Yeah.
Can anybody see this?
Yeah.
Can anybody see this? Mine just says, keep saying you are offline, check your connection. So bear with me 2 seconds. This is worse than that time when Adam immediately swore.
Well, yeah, everything's worse than that. That was the best entry to a stream ever.
That was pretty great.
But then following that, I'm looking forward to Marcus now speaking in Irish and in Welsh like he did for Swedish, in your last stream.
Oh, yes. Cannot wait.
Bro, we've literally been speaking for weeks and you put me on the spot like this already. I haven't even finished my intro, man. But yeah, woof. Hey guys, it's me, Marcus, aka the Maddogg, back with another live stream. And I'm very excited for this one. It's the MDC 5. It's the 5th of the Maddogg chats. And I'm so glad that I haven't fucked up the scheduling for this so far this year. But as always, I'm joined firstly by my co-host, Adam from Comic Bound. How you doing, man?
I'm good, thanks, man. How you doing?
Drunk. It's the only way. I'm so steamed already, man. I don't know how we're going to get through this one. But
I feel like I've got to catch up now. Hang on.
I know. Down it. No, everybody drink responsibly. But yeah, and I'm very excited to have 2 guests with us today. They're from Comic Airwaves, from the Nerd Herd Comic Book Club. Honestly, they do so many live streams. But firstly, we've got Scott from over at Scott's Shelf. How you doing, my man?
Hi, guys. Yeah, mate, I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being on here. Like, this is something we were saying before the chat started. Like, I feel like this should have happened a long time ago, but I am the worst at keeping time. Like, I'm so shit at it.
I forgive you, man. It's okay.
I get one forgiveness, and that was it. Like, I couldn't do,
that was it.
couldn't do anything. And we've also got Phil over from Phil's Nerdyverse. How you doing, my man?
All good. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Thanks for being on. Like, it's so cool. Like, obviously, there's no script to these. If you can't tell from the fact that I'm going to stumble a lot through this live stream, but I think it's so cool how the UK scene has developed in the last year alone. Like, it's really cool. Like, obviously, you guys are part of. Like I said, you've got your own comics podcast, Comic Airwaves. You've also got the Nerd Herd Comic Club. How have you found it from your guys'? Is that the plural? Your guys' from your perspective?
It's kind of brightened up the whole COVID lockdown stuff, really, to be honest, because if it weren't, like, we're all probably in the same kind of boat. That kind of made us all kind of do YouTube because we had all this spare time in our hands. And now I'm starting to panic, thinking what happens when things reopen and life goes back to normal? How am I going to fit YouTube and normal life back in together? So yeah, like there's quite a lot of UK folks that are all in the same boat, and we all got to know one another and all kind of form this big, huge community. It's not just the big US giants or our wee minnows over here in the UK. We're here.
Exactly, we're warriors. That's what we've got over here. We're just comic books, but warriors.
Yeah. But like,
Scott?
I've absolutely loved it. Like, I started. I've just recently hit a year of YouTube. So
Congratulations!
Thanks, man. And
Happy
I've
birthday.
loved it. Happy birthday! And yeah,
I'll drink to that.
I've loved it, and I was thinking, like, obviously you do a year and you reflect, don't you? Well, I did anyway, and I was like, how did I start? Well, I started off doing like reading reviews. I was just reading Once and Future. I had volume 1, and I did each issue as a different episode, and I did like a few mystery boxes, and then I was just kind of like, I'm doing the same as everyone else, and it took me a while to get my niche, But I've loved it. I've evolved, and meeting all these people has been fantastic, and I can genuinely call some of them friends, and I would literally love to actually go out and meet people, and it's and I think that's the best thing that's happened out of all this YouTube stuff. Yeah.
I agree with you, and I think it's going to be fun when lockdown restrictions do lift. Like, me and Adam have been saying for near enough a year now. It's like, I don't know who owes who the first round. I think I definitely owe him about 7 or 8 rounds at this point. But there's just been so much.
Mate, don't worry.
I think I'm already on my 7th or 8th round. I'm not going to lie at this point, but yeah, I think it's going to be great once lockdown opens back up. Like, could you imagine if? Because I've heard recently that New York Comic Con is going to go ahead as like an actual thing. I don't know exactly when that's. I didn't read the full article.
That's usually around October, isn't it? October.
I believe
November?
so, but I don't know if they're going to shift it a bit because I heard that San Diego might be pushed. I don't know. It's the long and short. It normally is October. I think you're right there. It'll be fun when conventions start back up. Like if we could have some kind of like UK YouTuber convention meetup to immediately put you on the spot and see if you'd agree to that. But just to go through some of the comments here. So we've got Stephen in the chat looking forward to 6:30. We've been looking forward to this all week. Like we've been buzzing. I'm really happy to have everybody here as well. We've also got Rob, who's been a big supporter of the channel from day one. Hopefully it was worth the wait. That's what I hope. I hope everybody has a great time. I hope everybody has a great Friday. Maybe towards the end I might sing that song that just says it's Friday a lot of times. We don't know. Highland G's in the chat as well. He's always walking in when these things start lately. I'll be back in 5 minutes once I'm home. Just get home safe. That's the main thing. Stephen's saying woof woof in the chat. Magnificent Marcus the Maddogg and friends. I might trademark that one, not gonna lie. SCC's in the chat as well. Everybody's telling me it was live because, like, just to clear up, I thought there was going to be a countdown. Like, I've literally paid to upgrade this thing, and it said there'd be a countdown, and there hasn't been.
I think that's why there is no countdown, because I think if you upgrade, there's no countdown. Am I right?
I swear I selected it. Can you imagine if I select it now and the countdown starts now? We just have to awkwardly wait 30 seconds. Rebel by Design's in the chat as well. I'm so glad we are live. Like, I'm glad this is finally happening. We've got Jacob in the chat as well, asking us all what's up. We're all feeling good today, aren't we? I think I can speak.
Really good. Got that Friday.
It's Saturday.
Singing it.
Because nobody knows more than the first line. It's Friday then.
Yep.
That's going to be one of them when the clubs open back up. That's going to be the first song that every Chicago's is going to play that. Like, I don't know if Chicago's is a brand, but we've definitely got one in Hanley. And that, like, they literally just play Radio 1 constantly. That's all. Like, you can almost hear the adverts waiting to start. We've got the Nerd Here Comic Book Club here. Thank you for being in the chat. And thank you for bringing us great content. I love what you did the other day with the Killing joke. Like, it really made me want to go back and read that again.
That's the thing about it. Like, everyone, a lot of people join in. That we tell them the week before what we're going to read, and most of them will go and pick up the book. They'll either go and buy it, they'll get a digital copy somewhere, and they'll just read it along. And it's so cool seeing the people have their own opinions and tell us what they think. They give us their scores, and it's just great. Like, it started off, I remember when we first started, people were joining in, they were chatting, and maybe some of them had read it before, but then it got to a point where people would be like, all right, okay, we know what's coming next week. We have the opportunity to grab it, read it, give our own opinion, and it's been great. We've been doing it for like 6 months. Every week, every Wednesday. None of us have missed a day. Even though me and Phil have had opportunities where we could miss a day, we refuse.
Yeah, just I said the other day, like, I'll have to have like both my legs removed or something to stop me doing the show. Like, we all love doing it. We're not gonna, like, Scott was doing his in a cabin somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I went away for a week in West Wales with Amy, and I made sure there was Wi-Fi there, and I was like, I am not missing Nerded. I'm doing this. It's only an hour, And
there's also the fear, like, who's going to be the first one not to do it, I suppose.
Yeah. And every week it just gets harder and harder to say no. But eventually one of us are going to go on a week-long holiday somewhere abroad.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to not do it. But we love it. I love it. It's amazing.
The thing I love now, like, as it's kind of grew as well, like the last lot of months, you see people on like Instagram tagging us in their posts of the book that we were reading that week. Like last week, there was loads of Killing Joke posts. Coming for the Nerd Herd this week, and like, I was like, I love that. I love the fact that people are picking the book up and reading along with us. That's the whole point, because we all have these books and stories that they need read. That's the purpose.
I know.
There's-
Any excuse to pick up an absolute and read it.
Right.
Like,
Mate, it was.
I need to get that.
The best edition of it as well.
I think my opinion that the funnest, newest addition to the Nerdhood is the fact that we do the viewer's choice. So every 5th week, we let the viewers put their votes in. We chuck everything into a spinning wheel, and we spin it, and then whoever it lands on, we will read that book for the next week. And then Dean is always kind enough to give something away to that person as well as like you've won, so here's a prize. And yeah, I just love it. The community feel, like you said earlier, I just love all that kind of stuff. It's awesome.
That's
I love the viewer's choice. And fun fact, the first time I got to actually put my vote in for a viewer's choice, I was gutted it didn't get picked. But then, thank you, Scott, you picked it anyway, which was Lock and Key. And that was one of my favorite episodes you guys did. So yeah, thanks for picking my choice. So
that's okay. It was for you, mate.
Yeah. I know you did it for me. Yeah,
it was all for
definitely
you. Yeah.
Didn't have it all chosen beforehand.
Not for me at all.
It's not 4 or 5 weeks in advance or anything like that. No,
no, definitely not.
So what you're saying is you can be bribed
for the right price. Yeah.
You got lots of omnibuses there. I'm sure you don't want some of them. It's fine.
Yeah, I could give you the Shang-Chi that I brought just because it was FOMO. Like that trailer came out, so they might be. They might be with something.
Just send me Amazing Spider-Man JMS Volume 1. That's my wheel at the minute.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I've got an extra copy of Volume 2 if you want.
No, I've already got Volume 2. I can't read Volume 2 until I get Volume 1.
For some reason. Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I really like about your two guys' is like channel and the streams that I see you on. Is it there's so much passion for the hobby that that's what made me get into YouTube in the first place as well. Like, first and foremost, this should be a passion, and I really love that when I see you guys come together in the Nerdhood, and also when you do the quizzes as well, there's clearly just that love for the hobby, and I think first and foremost that's what it should be about. So I've been really excited to get both you guys on here. Like, Adam was also really excited to have you guys here as well, and I just love that passion that's there.
Thanks, man. Yeah,
I know it sounded like there was going to be something else. Didn't it? I was just like,
I thought you were hurt or something. Are you in pain? You're struggling.
Emotional pain.
The quizzes we do with Shane are really fun. I mean, like every month, he makes a different group chat every month. He invites loads of people, and and most of the time, all of us say yes. But then we do the quiz, and he does the rounds, and then it's when I really start to be like, why do I do this? Because it's like he absolutely tortures us with the questions he brings up and the stuff. Like he's been collecting for like years and years and years and years and years. He's got nearly like 10,000 comics in his collection, right? And he knows so much. I've been doing this for a year, and I collect mostly indies, and the only superheroes I know are from Marvel and DC, like from the films. And he's given all these mental characters and like riddles and stuff, and I'm like, I have no idea.
But that's why it's fun.
Yeah,
the fact that we're meant to be like like we're YouTubers who talk about comic books but know nothing about comic books. Like, but then Adam, of course, came in his debut episode and cleaned house, didn't you? But then you didn't. Actually, I can't comment on the next one. Sorry, I was going to comment on the next one coming, but
I might have won that as well. I might not have done. I might have won. Who knows? I think Shane said it would be out. Maybe. No, the trash talk is ongoing. Like trash, there's nothing but trash talk when it comes to this quiz. That's one thing I've learned.
Yeah, Shane just goes, "Is everyone up for it?" And we all go, "Yeah." And then the trash talk happens for the next like 2 to 3 weeks. It just everyone hammers each other.
Sometimes I worry about going too far because I don't want to scare people off. Like Adam and TB collects, like Tyler, they kind of joined the chat, and I was worried about going too far because, like, at that point they were like kind of new and that kind of in the chat or in amongst the quiz chat. I was like, do I scare them off if I keep this up? But I love the smack talk. That's part of it for me. I think it's great.
Exactly, that's where it should be. Like, if it's a quiz, it's a competition, so I can't blame you on that one. Just going to catch up on some comments here. We've got We've got Will in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. We've also got Omni-Nation Comics that's joined us. You know, he's just started out his own channel. He's getting some insane hauls at the minute. Like, he's also just such a great guy. Like, he's so warm and friendly. Like, I really want to see how far he can go with it. And then, you know, I want to get him on a live stream as well, and hopefully I won't get as drunk, but who knows? It's been a long week for me, I'm not going to lie. Who said to Marcus Jeff Johns all day before this stream? Yeah, it's because my next... No, it's because... Actually, it's really weird because my next video is about the Flashpoint Omnibus, so maybe I was just catching up with myself. Nice. Finally, Maddogg brings the Celts. You know, you guys ask, I deliver. That's what I do. We've also... He's
got a great channel too.
I was just
he's the king of overviews. Go check out Off My Shelves. He does the best stuff. Reviews some great books. All the essentials. He seems to already have a great review on already. So go check him out.
He's also got all the USOG Jimbos. Like, now that volume 1 got reprinted, I'm like, I watched his video just to be like, what could have been if I knew really. Didn't we almost have it all? Like, in the words of...
See, the thing with like Usagi Yojimbo, like I have never heard of it before until like the last 6 months, and that reprint of volume 1, I just really wanted it, just pure FOMO because everyone was talking about it. But I'm the one that I'll probably never read it. I'll never get the other volumes either, but I just really want it now. But they only reprinted 600 worldwide or something like that, isn't that right?
Yeah, because volumes 2 to 9 had 1,500, but volume 1 only had 900, so it's to sort of make it the same. But theoretically, because it's a different edition, it's not like you've put this is book 901, so it's a new edition. So there's people who still want to get both. There's people who didn't manage to get others. So realistically, it hasn't solved the problem because I've got one now. I don't have the others. So there's still somebody with a volumes 2 to 9 or whatever it's going to be that doesn't have them.
So it wasn't going to the same people who had volumes 2 to 9. Wasn't like they were matching up. Yeah.
Like, you think there would have been a system where it's like, look, take a picture of your collection. I'm not complaining, I've got one. But you think it would have been a situation where they took a picture of the collection and gone, look, I've got this. Can I buy volume 1 off you? And like, yeah, sure, whatever. I hope that they maybe do like a non-limited hardcover release so that they are still special, but people can still buy them. Like, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I hope they do that because I just want to read them. I don't care about the limited nature of them. I just want them in the nice hardcover format. So
I've still got yours here. I need to post it off for you. It's for your birthday.
Need to say
it's going to end up being for
that.
Christmas.
Like, seriously, you shouldn't have. That's ridiculous.
I was waiting until you said thank you enough. Until I said, if you love me enough, you can have your birthday present.
Oh, yeah. I'll send you some special messages later.
Pictures?
Yeah, pictures, maybe.
This is my haul. This. We've also got Lorraine in the chat. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Lorraine.
Zach's given us a super chat. Thank you for that. It is greatly appreciated. And hopefully, like all donations and all the money that's come from YouTube, I'm putting back into something else that's going to be for the channel, which hopefully I can announce soon. But I can't announce now because it's not concrete and I don't want to disappoint people. And also, I don't know if you all want to give me a round of applause, but after 4 months, I finally sent him his prize as a giveaway for the 1,000 subscribers live stream. I finally did it.
You're not going to run applause for 4 months? No way. That's far too long. Far too long.
It's because I'm in the process of moving. Like, it was just... It happens, but I'm a man of my word. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. So thank you for the super chat. And I hope you enjoy the stream as well. Captain Makasu said, all right, some Friday entertainment before watching the Falcon and the Winter Soldier finale. I hope you enjoyed that. This is a spoiler-free Falcon and the Winter Soldier finale
no spoilers.
Video. Have you seen up to the finale, though? Just in case we naturally stumble onto it.
Yeah.
Just the last episode to go.
Good, as long as I know. I won't even tell you if it's good or bad because technically that counts as a spoiler.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you'll love this. Well, no, I don't. Hey, TB Collects. I love the stream that you did with Adam the other day. Or was it the other week?
It's a week and a bit
Oh,
ago
it's
now.
ago,
I
yeah.
think 2
Yeah.
weeks. Was it?
What is
Friday?
time?
Might have been 2 weeks ago. But yeah, how's it going, Tyler? Yeah, thanks for having me on your stream again. You did a really good one last week. I think it was last week. Again,
Sith.
time with Sith Lord Lee from Spinetix. That was a great chat as well. I got to hang out with him a bit afterwards as well. It was great to meet Sith, and yeah, Tyler's always a great guy to hang out with. So yeah, hello.
If you send me an Instagram message, you can join in for the after chat. Like, I'm down for that. But it's up to you. Blue Sonic Comics is here. Yeah, it's Friday. We're here. Woof woof. Oh wait, did you say whoop whoop?
Woof 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 woof.
Oh god, I was going to say that would have been really awkward if he was just like, I didn't mean that. Sam's in the chat. He says, new to comics myself. I'm from Hull. Recently bought Daredevil, Doctor Strange, and Berserker.
Can I?
Great way to start.
Can I
Of course.
there? So next week on Nerdhood, we're reading the new origins of Doctor Strange. The Strange Origin little graphic novel, and so if he's bought that, then he can give that a read quick and join us on Wednesday for that review there.
Yeah,
That'll be cool. Everybody should subscribe so that they can tune into that one live. We've got Comics vs. the World, who's been a massive supporter
I love
to
Rich.
the
He's
entire
great.
UK community.
100%.
Like,
He doesn't
him
even do
as-
YouTube. He's just on Instagram, but he's a great fan and a follower of all the UK guys. Yeah, it's great. He's awesome.
yeah. There's him, there's SCC, there's tons of people that have literally really got behind and supported. I don't want to call it a movement, but whatever's happening in the UK comic scene. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's just so good. I like what's happening, and I hope that continues to build, because I don't know about you guys, but when I was getting into comics, there wasn't anybody in my school who read them. But now I feel like that community is what I wish I would have had when I was first getting into comics.
I agree.
100%. Yeah. I think I wouldn't have most of the comics that I have now if it wasn't for the people that I've met on the stream, on YouTube and everything. Yeah.
No,
So
I'll
I
take
would say the
credit.
same thing as well, but if I say it, it's more like I'm blaming you for having spent so much money on
How
all the
dare
books
you.
I buy. So
To be fair,
mine would be more of an
I
accusation.
I do kind of blame, not blame, that's not the right word, but like some Marcus and Adam and Highland G, whenever you start doing your collected edition videos, I kind of started watching them as well. And now I have this shelf. I never had these like a year ago. It's all down to you guys.
You're
Can you
welcome.
change that sign in the back from Man Cave to Maddogg Cave then for me? If I'm to blame, I want full credit. That's a beautiful shelf you've got there.
It's small, but it's coming along nicely. It's building.
That's always the best thing. I always love the building of a collection. Like, a collection's never complete, is it? Like, even when you think it's complete, you're probably going to sell something. So that's always the best part of the hobby, alongside the reading the books, which I'm supposed to do.
What's that?
Yeah.
What? We read comics?
Take it out the
you just-
cellophane?
I thought you just buy them, show them on a camera, do this a little bit, and then
Get them
put 'em
graded,
on.
and
Yeah.
Bro, don't ruin the illusion.
Sorry.
People can unsubscribe from me.
Sorry.
Be cool. We've got Caleb in the chat saying, thank you for being welcoming and having your own friendly community. Makes it easy for newcomers like me to feel like they found a great hobby. That's what it's all about. Like when I was getting into comics, there was just iFanboy, and I fucking still love iFanboy to this day. Like, nobody can say a bad word about iFanboy. So please don't, if you were going to. But yeah, like, I kind of wanted to replicate the same thing, just a dude talking in his bedroom about comics in case you didn't have anybody else to talk to. So it's great to hear that people who are new into comics get our channels and get what we're about.
Yeah.
the biggest thing for me too is like I was spending what I thought was a lot of money every Wednesday on comics, and I was reading them and putting them away, and that was it. There was no one to talk to about them, type thing. Like none of my friends read comics. Like my wife doesn't read comics, so I was just reading them and putting them away. I just think like it's almost like a waste of my money. Like I'm enjoying reading it, but I want to talk about them to people, And I can do that in the store, like our store, quite good. But then the day, there's still a store, and there's people in the queue behind me, so I can't take up all their time. So YouTube was like an outlet for me to kind of meet people and talk about the books that we're all supposedly reading.
Yeah. I was going to say that's the main air quoting. Yeah. I almost broke my fingers with how hard I had to air quote that. We've also got Peter H in the chat. He's still at work, but he wanted to pop in and say what's good. We appreciate you, Peter. I hope work's going okay for you.
Mustn't be that good if he's jumping in on YouTube.
To be fair, I've done that a few times recently. I'm like, my job's just stressing me out. I'm going to watch somebody play Call of Duty Warzone. Like, that's what I
for 4 hours.
Yeah. And then like, if you've done that job, and I'm like, job?
Kill a few bad guys.
Yeah, I saved the planet. What more do you want from me? We've got a good question from Caleb. What are you all reading, enjoying right now? What have you recently not enjoyed? Adam, do you want to go first? We'll go in sort of like a counterclockwise.
Reading at the minute, I'm really enjoying Gotham Central. That's my current kind of read. Maybe about 12 issues in, something like that. A couple of arcs. I can't remember how far. But yeah, I'm only just reading it for the first time. I know everyone's kind of raved about it for years, and finally getting around to checking it out. And it's, I went in with a high bar, and I'm loving it and think it's great. So I think that says something. I don't know what I've recently not enjoyed, though. That's a really hard one because I only tend to read stuff that I hear is good, and a lot of the time I end up liking it. But yeah, I might come back to that one if I think of anything, but I can't at the minute. So yeah, over to the next one. Whoever wants to jump in.
Fel, do you want to go next?
Yeah, well, it's kind of one title to answer both questions. I'm currently reading and enjoying the King in Black stuff at the minute. However,
what a surprise!
What I'm not enjoying, and it's a bit of a slog. I'm just trying to get through all the tie-ins. So I committed myself to kind of like reading the whole lot, the whole shebang. And the main series is great. Some people think it's a wee bit like it's fell flat a bit. I still love it, but the tie-ins, some of the tie-ins are absolutely dreadful, and they usually are. Suppose these big Marvel events, but I just had it in my head. I thought this would be different. I thought this would be a bit better than every other kind of event there is out there at the minute. But yeah, so King in Black, enjoying parts of it, not enjoying the rest of it. And I'm also as well, I'm trying to get through, I say trying to get through, it's a bad thing. I'm reading Simonson's Thor omnibus.
Oh, yes.
But
Whammy boy.
It is. I'm only reading like 2 issues every other night. I'm not really kind of plowing through it that fast. I'm quite slow getting through it, but I'll get there. And I am enjoying that too.
I actually just had that delivered this week, and I can definitely, it is a whammy boy. In fact, you should see what I had it delivered with. That package was heavy, but so I kind of don't want to spoil my next haul, so I'll tune into that if you want to see what it came with.
With that Thor stuff, with the Walt Simonson, so Amy, she likes to read Thor stuff. So originally, I bought a volume 1 of the Walt Simonson stuff, and there's 5 altogether, but I can't find 5 for a nice price. For the I can find it, but I'd have to remortgage the house if I wanted to buy it. But so if anyone knows a decent price where I can get it, let me know, because I don't really want to buy the omnibus just so she can read the last bunch of issues. So yeah. But I guess for my answer, I enjoy a lot of things. So like singles wise, I'm loving 7 Secrets. I'm really enjoying getting all that. I think I talk about that every opportunity I can. But trades, Adam recently just mailed me Black Hammer. And volume 1, and I read that and I loved that, and it was really cool. I'm looking forward to getting the rest. And another book that I had for a while but didn't get around to reading until a couple of weeks ago was The Wicked and the Divine, volume 1, and I flew through that and I loved it. And Amy bought me volume 2 the other day, so I'm going to be reading that as well. And yeah, looking forward to that. But in terms of what I haven't enjoyed recently, that was the Origins 6-issue run by Boom Studios. I was really looking forward to it. The premise of it sounded so cool, but I read issue 1 and I was like, this is okay. I'll get issue 2 and see how it goes. And then I just didn't enjoy it. But I got all the issues anyway, just because I think it's easier to sell them as a set than it is as individuals. So that's what I'm going to be doing with that. But yeah, so I didn't really enjoy that.
Yeah, that was the one you immediately messaged me and asked if I wanted to buy off you, right? That one.
Yeah,
This is the thing, though. I'm selling it bad. I've just slagged the book off and going, I'm selling it. So yeah.
So we have like a WhatsApp chat for the Nerd Herd, and he was on the chat saying, Origin, it's not what I thought, it's not that good. I'm selling it. Does anyone want to buy it? I was like, you're not, you haven't sold it to us. You just dissed it every chance you get. And it's like,
I'd rather be honest with you guys.
Just wait until the TV show.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Yeah, when the money comes in.
Yeah. But yeah, up to you, Marcus.
I'm reading at the minute. I'm reading East of West in preparation for Image. Like I'm planning on reading that, Paper Girls, and maybe Cruel Summer if I can fit it in. I notoriously read very slow. I'm not going to say too much on it because I don't like to formulate an opinion as I'm reading it until I've finished it. Because, like, know me, I'd be like, I'm thinking this, and then by the end I'd have a completely different opinion. So I like to be like, I knew from the beginning. I'm one of them people. I just finished up reading Ex Machina, and honestly, I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. Well, obviously, there's going to be a full review. Please still watch it. Like, I really could really do with that right now. But I just feel like it didn't know whether it wanted to be a political comic or a superhero comic, and then it went, and did neither. So it felt like the last book was almost written by someone completely different. So I didn't enjoy that as much as I thought I did. But
that's Brian K. Vaughan, isn't it?
Yeah. And I love Why the Last Man. Why the Last Man's got a special place on the special shelf next to Walking Dead because I'm like, if there's a fire, I can just get that one shelf.
That's good thinking. I need a special shelf.
Yeah.
Special shelf.
Okay.
For pictures of me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Although, no, I've got one of those in my wallet, for emergencies.
And in your DMs.
Yeah.
Cruel Summer is also a fantastic book, Marcus. Have you read it before, Cruel Summer?
No, but I've read Criminal Volume 1 and 2 in the hardcovers, so I think for me, then I can get away with just reading I don't like reading half a series, but because it's labelled Cruel Summer, I can maybe get away with it. It is
the big chunk of that volume, because I think the other one was called Bad Weekend, which was part of Volume 3, which only like maybe 2 or 3 issues, which was good, which is still really good. But Cruel Summer for me was I thought was one of the best things I read. Was it the year before last that came out? I was like, that was one of the best books of the year for me. I'd stand on.
How does it compare to the rest of Criminal? Because obviously I've only read like what would effectively be the first 6 trade paperbacks. Is it the best of Criminal, would you reckon?
It's hard. I've read a few of the arcs, but I would rank it as one of the better ones, to be honest. Yeah.
Nice.
Like,
makes me look forward to it more now.
Oh yeah, but then you obviously need the previous kind of reading too, because it has I forget their characters' names now. Ricky, whatever that guy's name, he's in it. But you'll know when you read it yourself. It's very very good.
I feel like Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips they can't do any wrong, can they? Like, do you reckon one day they're just going to go, Luke, shall we try and do a concept that doesn't sound good and see if... do you know what I mean? Because, like, I think when you go through, like, the history of comics and you think about these, like, I don't want to say power couples because it sounds like I'm talking about Beyonce, but when you think about, like, the power duos, I guess that's what I'll say, of comics, obviously you've got, like, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, but I feel like in terms of consistent quality, like, they've never put out anything bad. Some stuff isn't as good as others, but nothing's ever been like that was a waste of time reading it. Like, can you guys think of anybody else that really compares to Phillips and Brubaker?
Not really as a pair. Well, I'm biased, and I'll say Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman, but that's my thing. I'm biased coming out. But no, like Ed Brubaker and like if if Ed Brubaker released a book now that wasn't Sean Phillips, I would think he's trolling us. Like, it's not, it wouldn't feel right. It's just like them two together. That's, I mean, we recently read Pulp as well in the Nerd Herd, and I've got the Reckless book there, and there's another one coming out, I think, this month. It's like a trilogy of Reckless books for them guys.
Oh yeah.
And them two together are fantastic, and they probably will be held in that same kind of high esteem of being a kind of, a duo that not to be trifled with.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
And Sean Phillips is just a great dude. Like, just as a human being, he's great. Like, I didn't get a chance to meet him at Birmingham Comic Con when I was 16, because he had to go do a panel. And I found him selling a copy of Criminal Deluxe Edition Volume 1 on Amazon. And it said, comes with exclusive sketch from the artist. And I noticed that the user profile was Sean Phillips. And I sent him a message. I was like, I'm a massive fan of your work. I've read Sleeper. But I didn't get a chance to meet you at Birmingham Comic Con, and I loved all the zombie sketches that you did. I didn't even ask him for anything. And when he sent me the book, he included a free zombie SpiderMan sketch, which is just down there. And he sent me a note just saying, "Hey Marcus, thanks for the support." And I've always kept that. Like, he's just a great dude. Yeah, he's such a good dude.
I can't think of the writer, but Sean Phillips' son was an artist on a book called That Texas Blood. I can't think he wrote it, but it's in the same kind of like what we call like a genre of kind of Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips kind of stuff. That kind of like crime noir, but like gritty and dark, or whatever. And so That Texas Blood. And so if I can't think of his name, something Mr. Phillips, Sean's son, he's obviously fallen.
We'll call him
Jacob Phillips. I mean, he's
Jacob Phillips. That's the one. Yeah, so he's obviously fallen in his father's footsteps, and probably doesn't want to do like the big two stuff, just wants to do his own independent stuff as well. And again, that Texas Blood was a fantastic book.
I'll have to check that. I'm just going to catch up on some comments here. So we've got Perpetual Comics that's saying, "Evening chaps, I hear there is a guest appearance of the Comic Airways mugs tonight."
Mugs.
They didn't tell me this was coordinated.
He probably means our faces, but
yeah, maybe.
We also have mugs.
It must be that.
Yeah. Knowing Andy, he definitely means faces.
I'm just going to whiz through some comments here. We've got Zoom, who's been a supporter from day one. I know he's been a supporter of the entire comic book YouTube scene. He says he'll watch on the rewatch, but I just appreciate you checking in to say, hey, I hope you're having a good time. I hope you're back in the gym as well. That sounded more like a threat than an encouraging.
Yeah, like, back in the gym, boy.
Or else.
Isn't that what personal trainers do, though? They just threaten you until you lift the heavy thing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but personal trainers get paid.
I wouldn't know.
So.
What's a gime?
Oh, I love a Homer Simpson joke.
I'm just going to whiz through some of the people saying hey, so that, thank you for having the super sticker. Like I said, go check out the channel. The last episode on Killing Joke, I really enjoyed. So thank you for the super stickers. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for tuning in as well. We've got Baharath that's saying, hey, Marcus, and to everybody that's here. First time here, and it's great to join a local community. It is, isn't it? Like, I was thinking about this because I used to do... Oh, God, this is going to come back to haunt me. I used to do a relationship advice channel on YouTube like years before I did this. Yeah, don't worry.
We know.
I researched you, Marcus. I know all about it.
That's how I met my wife.
Something good came out of the 6 years on that channel then. But yeah, that community was very toxic. It was like everybody was your enemy. Whereas on here, everybody just welcomes you. Everybody supports each other. As far as the interactions that I've seen, it is a great community to be a part of. And no better example than the astonishing Melanie's in the chat saying, hey to everybody, thank you for tuning in.
That's a par couple. Melanie and Omar, they're a par couple.
The Beyonce and Jay-Z of the comic book couple. I keep saying that enough in the hopes that it catches on. And then hopefully I could get a t-shirt that says that. And I could be like, I sort of did this.
But we all know Omar is Beyonce in that equation, right? Melanie's more like Jay-Z, obviously.
Now they're both the Beyonce. Like nobody's the
They're both-
Jay-Z in that
okay.
couple. Like
Yeah, Jay-Z's overrated anyway. Yeah.
I know, genuinely, I think Jay-Z. Why am I trash talking Jay-Z? But I genuinely think he must wake up some days and he's like, I'm gonna have to step up my game here. Like I don't know what I've done, but I'm gonna have to step up my game. He's worth £1 billion, so I don't really think he's gonna care that I'm slacking him off.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure thing, go for it, man.
If,
Will I be quiet?
if you could combine this channel with your older channel, how would you do that? What would like a title of a video be? There was a lot of like dating advice stuff and a lot of comic stuff. How would you?
This is where the vodka slows his brain down slightly.
Yeah, this is tactical. You're hoping that I buff it, and then you just let's have a normal human conversation without that guy just going at 100 miles an hour.
No.
For me, I think it's weird because occasionally I've done advice-based videos on this channel, but more about buying comics and how to sort of sell your comics in the best way. And I think I would do something like how to meet somebody that's got the same personality as you, because obviously comics are something that really brings people together. And I think, like, I know obviously Scott, you're having your missus Amy on your videos as well, and it's nice to see that it brings you two together.
Yeah.
Like, was that a smooth transition? Was she into comics before, or did you have to be like, look, I'll take you to work. You know what I mean? I'll have Sunday dinner with your family. Just read Y the Last Man.
No, like, so I think when we got together, like, we haven't been together for long. It's only been a couple of years, but like, I think our first Christmas, I bought her the first Walt Simonson Thor volume, and because I was like, who do you like? You know, what kind of superhero do you like? She was like, I like Thor. So I did that. So she kind of read them and she enjoyed the style. And then another year, then I bought her Skarga Volume 1, and she loved that. And she's still picking up the volumes now. She's on like Volume 5. But, you know, and then for the Nerd Herd, if there's one she's interested in, she'll read it. She won't read along every week. She's like, this is why I do the judge a book by its cover video with her, because she literally looks at the picture that Dean puts up and just goes, "Yeah, that doesn't look good," and then she won't read it. So like she's read Canto, she's read Once and Future. I'm not sure. Like she wants to read The Killing Joke. Like she liked the video the other day, the Nerd. She wants to read that. She's into comics ish. Like she's not going to go and buy everything. She doesn't have all the FOMO stuff, but she is into them.
It's really cool that you can share that hobby with each other as well.
Yeah, nice.
I don't really have any. That's why I thought I'd ask you, because I have no tips. Like, is anybody who's watching this wondering?
Is your make believe missus? Is she not into manga and stuff as well?
You've put me on the spot, so I kind of have to devise a backstory for her. This is the origins. No, she really enjoys manga. That's why, and genuinely, it does sound like I'm making excuses, but the manga that's just sort of there, that's pretty much all hers. She tried reading, I think it was Y the Last Man, but it's weird because she loves comics in general, but when it comes down to it, it's kind of like she prefers manga because you can get a lot more manga in because there's not as much like waffling, like on average. So she prefers it for that, and obviously the art style's more to what she likes, and I like comics a bit. Well, I love comics more. It's not really a competition.
I didn't know you like comics.
I don't read them. I just appreciate the way they look in cellophane. But yeah, like she is into a manga, and she watched the Wolverine anime that's on Netflix. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen
that. I've seen pictures of it, and I can't say I want to watch them based on that. So hopefully she really liked it, though.
Yeah, she did, and she tried to convince me to read it, and I was like, "This is bait, isn't it? Like you're just trying to trap me." But yeah, how about you, Phil? Is comics sort of your independent thing?
Yeah, like my wife doesn't read comics, but she loves like the movies and like Lock and Key, all the TV shows and stuff. She'll watch them with me, and we watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So we're waiting for that tonight. But she wouldn't read comics. Now I'm convinced because she's into like Harry Potter and other kind of fandoms like that, and I'm convinced that I will be able to find her a book that she'll want to read and enjoy, but she just doesn't want to give that the time of day. I think maybe it's like the fear where she likes to have her separate thing and I have my separate thing. Like this is the man shed, so I'm out here all the time, and she just wants like, you go out there, you just cause havoc and create trouble in there in your own little space and leave me to it. So
has your wife ever been in there?
Yeah, just to tidy it up.
Wow.
That is true, by the way. That's not like I'm having to dig it, like, just like she does clean up after me.
I'm really a misogynist, honestly.
No, not at all, not at all. But
if your wife likes Harry Potter, I've got a good book that she might like, might be your way in, called The Unwritten.
It's kind of by Peter.
Yeah,
yeah,
I know who you're thinking of. Is it Michael Gross, the artist? Something Picari? Or is it the other way around? I don't know.
That name rings a bell to me when it comes to The Unwritten. I think you're right.
But they're the same team that did Lucifer. So it's all kind of geared around, like, there's this character who plays Harry Potter, or kind of plays Harry Potter. Or he's based, if Harry Potter was a real person that J.K. Rowling based her book on, like, I think that's the kind of premise. I think the author in this universe kind of wrote a book. I can't remember what it was called, but it was basically Harry Potter. It's like a really obvious kind of copy of that. And it's the guy's son who he based the book on, I think, is basically, he was figured after Harry Potter. And there's just more to it than that. And like, how does that... let me Google it, because I honestly can't.
It's going to say on the back, like, if you like Harry Potter ripoffs, this is the book for you.
There is
like, if Harry Potter, if Daniel Radcliffe basically found out that he was basically actually Harry Potter, it wasn't just all make believe. It wasn't a book. It's like, it's that kind of premise. Let me Google it.
It's so cool if you made a TV show and cast Daniel Radcliffe in that. I think that's the only person they could cast in it.
Would that be too meta? That would be like one step meta too much. I don't know.
You can never be too meta.
Yeah, it's so meta. It's just in your living room. Like, that's how far past it is. But yeah,
the thing is too, there's a small part. There's a very, very small part of me doesn't want my wife to read comic books. Like I want to hold on to this thing myself as well,
Yeah, it's nice having that distinction between. Yeah, I get where you're coming from there.
You want your thing, and then
it's not even just like that. It's more like, I don't want her to read the same books I've read, and then she tells me something that I've missed, and then she then goes to me like, Phil, do you even read comics? You know nothing about these books, because she's a lot more intelligent than I am. So
When we've got her on Shane's quiz and she wipes the floor with you on there, that'll be the last straw. I don't think your marriage could survive that, right?
No, probably not.
The thing is with that quiz, like, Shane's fiance, his fiance Lee.
Yeah.
He doesn't read comics, and when he's rewatching the quiz, he's getting more answers right than we are.
Yeah, in the chat. Yeah,
it's so embarrassing. I have no idea what to do about it. But yeah,
I'm just having a look through some comments here. Off My Shelf said, Scott gets his girlfriend a comic that opens up on a woman asking herself if she is shitting, and she loves him for it. The charm of the Welsh.
Thank you very much.
That was a great book.
Yeah,
that's a great opening page.
But the thing is, I bought that, but I only read the synopsis of the book. I didn't know anything about Skarga. And then she goes, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna give this book some time now. And she opens it, just like, Jesus Christ, what the hell? What have you got me? And I'm like, what? What have I got you? And I'm like, oh my God, what the hell? And then she read it, and she was like, actually, I really enjoyed that. So,
if you guys ever
go on,
I was going to say, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but. If you guys ever had a moment similar to that for yourselves, where you've opened up a book and you're like, "What the fuck?" Like,
I read Faithless on a bus. Joe Faithless. I can't think who the writer was. It was an image, but it was one of them kind of adult I can't think what to describe it. Basically, like the front cover had like like a poly bag, so you couldn't see what it was, type thing. So I was reading it one time in the
Top
bus. And I knew
shelf.
yeah, it's not a dirty mag or anything like that. It is a comic book. But so I read it on the bus home, and I kind of knew what they expect, but I didn't expect that level of graphic nature. And there was people around me, and I like the first 2 pages, I had to close this book and pretend I don't know what this is, and hope no one's seen me in the bus, because that was a bit too much. But yeah, Faithless was a great book. Just read it in private.
I don't think I have any books that was like gross or like graphic or whatever. But the last book I read that made me go, "What the fuck?" I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but it's the last page of Volume 2 of Once and Future. If anyone has read it and lives in the UK, it was a what the fuck moment. Like, why have you done this? That's what I was like. So I'm really hoping they fix it in Volume 3. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, that's me.
For me, it'll be I read an issue. I think it was the first issue of Neonomicon. I think that's how you say it. Neonomicon. It's Alan Moore, Jason Burrows, and I just bought it because it had Alan Moore on it, and the cover on the shelf in the comic book shop at the time was the variant, and it looked amazing. So I was like, oh, that looks cool, Alan Moore, I'm in. And I read it, and it was quite solid. And then it started getting a bit like, I don't know, like the woman, the main character, starts getting like raped by weird kind of squiddy type things from what I can remember. And I'm just like, okay, I'll see if it's any good before I buy issue 2. I'll see what I'll let someone else read it and tell me if it's worth kind of diving back into that. I'd if I wanted that kind of thing, I'd probably read more manga. So, and I'm not a manga. I'm actually not a manga guy. So, yeah.
I can't get into it.
Bro, the trash talking doesn't have to come this way. Like, save it for the quiz, bro. When I was 15, I was in WH Smith, which is a shop in the UK for anybody who's outside of the UK. And I'd just finished up reading Watchmen, Batman the Killing Joke, V for Vendetta, prop on this Alan Moore hype. Looked in WH Smith, and there was a book called The Lost Girls.
Yeah, heard about this.
It comes in this beautiful slip. Alan Moore. And I was like, I love Alan Moore. I'm going to open this up. And I opened it up, this 15-year-old kid. I was like about 80 pounds, 6 foot. I was really gangly. And I opened it up. And like all I could see is just like very vivid like sex stuff. And like honestly, WH Smith was empty until I opened that book up. And then all of a sudden, everybody's walking past me. Everybody's getting a look at this book. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, like, as if you couldn't tell I was a virgin already. Like, now I'm looking at this book. Like, that's one of them what the fuck moments. I don't think I've ever really had many that like, as I'm reading a book. Because I often get books that don't give you the what the fuck moment as you're turning the page, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, so it's not like a whoa, it's more like, oh, I can see it in the corner of my eye, so I know it's coming. Like, obviously I'm thinking about stuff like Invincible when I was reading the comic series. You can always sort of see in the corner of your eye what's happening. So when I'm actually reading them, I haven't had too many personally, if I'm being honest. It's nice when it happens, though.
Yeah.
I'm just catching up on some comments here. Everybody's having to talk about like the first page. Like I can see that the astonishing Melanie's here saying like, I know from my experience the first page is very accurate and legit question.
That's what I love about Skarga is that it tries to capture the human experience so perfectly by like exploring this weird alien crazy stuff. But it's all every exact. But it's fucked up. That place is just like mind-bogglingly fucked up. But it's like every part of that fucked up crazy place has something like deeply human rooted in it, and that's why I love Skarga. It's like one of my favorite comics. It's actual. Like, I hope they end it really well, and I can say it's a masterpiece because so far it is. But we're only halfway through. So.
I've only read the first volume. I think Scott's the same. Like we read it for the nerd herd, but we're both busting the read on. But we know Volume 2 is going to come on the Nerd Herd at some point, so we're holding off. So we just need it. It needs to be picked soon because I want to read it and I want to read on. I know Dean, for example, he's finished the compendium recently. But yeah, I want to play on.
Hopefully, they're going to continue soon with that. I've heard.
Yeah, they're working on it, aren't they?
Yeah, they're working on it. Yeah.
Like, there's quite a lot of Image titles that just haven't been finished. Like, I know Adam's a particularly big fan of Morning Glories. I suddenly pick up those three OHCs.
And that one as well.
Yeah, Manhattan Projects.
I couldn't not get it, but that's a great series, Manhattan Projects. They didn't really finish it, but I mean, you could say it didn't really need a good ending. It just ends, and that's fine. But yeah, there's a few Image series I think that just really.
Southern Bastards is one comes to mind as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason Aaron.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what he's waiting on, to be honest, because I thought his excuse at the time was he was obviously writing Thor, but he finished Thor 2 years ago.
Oh, he's Avengers now, though, isn't he? Like, he's on that Avengers money.
Oh,
was there some stuff with the artist? Was he involved in some kind of Me Too cancelling type deal? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't.
Do we legally have to use the word allegedly?
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly. This is what I mean. Like, I hope that is a thing, and I didn't just like make it up out of nowhere. Because
some guy's career's been ruined.
If that is the case. I don't know. Maybe I'm confusing you with someone else, but I don't know. I thought maybe that's why it stopped. But again, I have the world's worst memory, so please don't quote me on that.
Off My Shell said that Skarga is a truly wonderful book on every level. Read it ASAP.
Yeah.
You should have said
I'm waiting until it finishes now. Whenever that is.
Someone did spoil the ending for me. I'll say the current kind of mid ending or mid credit, whatever. So I know what happens. Which at the time I wasn't reading Saga, so I didn't care. But then I started reading Saga, and I was like, I wish that person hadn't told me what happens in the end.
And now I care.
Yeah, now I'm pissed.
Oh.
I don't want to be the guy that spoiled it for you now. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm a bit like, I'd hate to be that guy. But yeah, here's a good question for you, though. We talked about series that haven't had an ending. For you to, I'd about to dip out for a sec, but for you two, is there a series that you wish had a sequel, a continuation, hadn't ended as early as it had?
I think I do, but I don't know if I'm gonna get shit for it. I'm gonna be like, why that book or anything like that. So right, here we go.
Opinion, right? Go for it. Be a Maddogg.
Safe space here.
Maddogg. Woof, woof. It's Monsters Unleashed by Marvel, right? It's Monsters Unleashed by Marvel. It was probably one of the first lot of trades that I ever picked up. This was like a few years ago, in like 2019, I think, and I loved it as a series. It was really cool, and like there was like, you know, it had like I followed like the reading order, and I jumped back and forth, and I got like all 4 volumes. And then in August 2019, they brought an issue 1 for like a new Monsters Unleashed run with Kid Kaiju and all his monster friends. And then they just never did another issue, and they set it up so well. I was like, oh, okay, this sounds really cool. When's the next one coming out? And it's like, it's not. And I was gutted, but I really wish Marvel would bring that back. I would like to carry on with that.
The only thing that comes to mind for me, like I can't really think, looking at my shelves, anything that's kind of just cancelled abruptly. But Tom Taylor was writing Friendly Neighborhood SpiderMan. Maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, and he only done 14 issues, but they only announced it towards like the last 2 issues that he was leaving the book and they were cancelling the title. But for me, it's Tom Taylor for one. It was a complete solid title, and I was gutted that it was ended with and he wasn't going to be on it, because Tom Taylor in the last 2 years has become probably my favorite writer, because it's Tom Taylor. He can do no wrong. And that Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and I've said to Scott a few times, I've tried to get him to read it a few times, issue number 6, it was a tearjerker. Like, it was a really sad, emotional but happy story, and it's just for one single issue. But that run, it was only 14 books, but I thought it was fantastic, and I was gutted that they ended it. But money talks. In the day, it wasn't a big seller, so that determines it.
It's a shame when that happens because mine doesn't really have that. I don't really know the story behind it, but Thor by J. Michael Straczynski was one of the first books that I properly started reading. And it's clear that he either had to end it suddenly or he just left halfway because Siege is the proper ending to that, but it wasn't. It was written by Brian Michael Bendis. And then obviously Matt Fraction went on to do Thor. And if you read that omnibus, it doesn't feel like a full story to me. It does feel like something that was cut short. So for me, I think that's what my answer would be because of the fact that that was probably my first taste of that abrupt ending, that feeling incomplete. Whereas, I don't know, as I've gotten older, I feel like it's just part of the comic industry now that, you know, sometimes a series can just get, the rug can get pulled from underneath you and then that's it, that's your last issue. So, yeah, I think that'd be my answer. I can't think of another one off the top of my head.
Highland G mentioned one there called The Dead Hand, and I also read The Dead Hand. It's one of the latest comments, and it was a great volume, only volume 1 again, and then that was nothing. But he could have easily done so much more with that. And I think it's one of those things that they'll give it one volume, and if it doesn't sell or it's not highly regarded or whatever, they'll just pull the rug under and that's it type thing. But interesting enough as well, we were talking about this. I think it was after the stream on Wednesday, but the Killing Joke, that there was potential the Killing Joke wasn't going to be finished because that was the time whenever Alan Moore had fallen out with DC around that kind of time. Yeah. So I think he only came back to finish the book because Brian Boland, who was his friend, basically pleaded with him, please come back, finish the book, and then do whatever. So we almost never got the Killing Joke, or else got a different ending of the Killing Joke.
There was only 200 pages of the script done at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
That's really interesting. I genuinely didn't know that.
Yeah.
But then who hasn't Alan Moore fallen out with? I suppose you're right, yeah.
I was going to say, I've got plans for a video in August that's Alan Moore versus comic companies. And it's just boiling down everyone that he's fallen out with. And I'm like, do I have enough time to do this video? Like, will he fall out with me, even though he doesn't know I exist, just because this video exists at some point? Because Alan Moore is probably like the, I think he's the only name in comics that probably could, you know, distance himself. Because I know Robert Kirkman at one point was like, you know what, I'm only Image. I'm never working with a big company like Marvel or DC again. There's not too many other creators that could probably do that. It's probably only Robert Kirkman and Alan Moore. Like even Jonathan Hickman, I feel like he might not even get away with it. Donny Cates isn't there just yet. It depends how far he goes, but I don't know. Where do you guys stand on that?
Well, Ed Brubaker and Rick Remender, they've all kind of said they're not going to be doing big 2 books, but they're not quite in the same kind of high esteem as Alan Moore, of course, but they may one day be. They may one day have that book. But I can see going forward, like the impression I'm getting from watching interviews and stuff, that I get the impression that DC, to work for, the higher echelons don't have a clue what they're doing. And even with Marvel too, there's just too much interference from people above. So if I was a writer, I don't think I would enjoy working there. I might enjoy writing the books and stuff like that, the characters and so on, but I don't think I would enjoy working for the 2 companies. So I think you'll find a lot more of the bigger names kind of, you know, Alan Moore maybe one of the first ones to kind of break off and hate everybody, but you'll find a lot more, I think.
You know, the indie stuff, they obviously have a lot more freedom, don't they? You know, if you work for Marvel or DC, it's like, right, pick a superhero. Who do you want to write about? But, you know, with the indie stuff, it's like, look, you make up your own story, and, you know, most of the time they're great. You know, I've not read it, but Geiger is getting a lot of traction at the moment, and a lot of people are loving that. You know,
Jeff Johns got a lot of crap from DC, even though he is Mr. DC, but he was you know, got a lot of crap for that. And the artist Gary Frank, they were in Doomsday Clock. But Geiger, you're right, that's where they're going.
Yeah, but you know, like, you know, indie companies. I think last year maybe have been like the year of the indie stuff, because so many awesome books were starting and series are still ongoing now, and they're just blowing up and getting a lot more traction. You know, like Something is Killing the Children. You know, That's just blown up, and that's selling loads and reselling loads. And it's just, I think it's just one of the best series of last year, isn't it? And this year.
It's got an oversized hardcover coming out as well.
Oh,
I'm planning on picking that up.
Yeah, I'm going to read it when that comes out. I'm not going to pay like £100 for issue 1 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they're getting expensive now. So.
You'll read it, Adam, whenever we're doing the Nerd Herd. I'm sure.
Please don't do it before the hardcover comes out.
The week before.
It's interesting, though, because the kind of model that was going about the last, like at the beginning of the 2000s, was you use companies like Image, Dark Horse, IDW to build up your name, to build up your rep, to get into Marvel. Like, I know that's what Brian Michael Bendis did. Like, he did Jinx, Torso, Sam and Twitch, and then he got into Marvel, and that was like, great, now I've got the Golden Goose. Whereas it almost seems like it's going the other way now. Like, you get yourself on an Avengers book so that people then know, like your name and like your writing style, so that they'll check out your indie titles. Like, that's pretty much what Remender did. Like, he built up, obviously he was doing a lot for Image before, and Dark Horse, but he really got his name out there by doing Uncanny Avengers, by doing Axis and Originals. Wait, did he do? No, I don't believe he did Originals. But you get what I mean. He did a lot of these titles, and then was like, yeah, but now if you want to read me, you've got to go to Image. It's almost like the tables turned. I'm not sure if you guys feel the same way.
Yeah,
I find it hard to see Image as an indie publisher. Like, they are, but they're not at the same time. Like, they're not the big two, but they're the big three. Do you know what I mean? Because there's so many other now independent publishers, like even Aftershock are kind of starting to increase their titles and so on, and then obviously Boom as well have had a good year or two. But yeah, I agree. Like, people who maybe join Marvel or DC and are asked to work on like the lesser titles, the lesser known, like who cares what they sell kind of books, but then they'll get a bit of a fan base, and then we'll move on to Image and show you what we've got. And as well as that, like, they're a lot of those kind of names too, even though they're big names and can get jobs anywhere they want, they're still going to Kickstarter. Some books are still going to Kickstarter first to get the fan base that way. But yeah, no, I agree. It's not the same as it was 15 years ago.
When some people say Image and indie, I think what they really mean is creator owned. And I think that's the big draw for a lot of creators to go and do a title over Image, is because they retain the rights to everything they create there. The contracts are really good for a creator, because if, say, your property sells the movie rights, you have ownership of everything there. That is your IP. And a lot of comics these days, I guess, is just based around IP, like who's going to make a movie of my thing. And, for Image, if you did an Image title and someone makes a movie of it, your creator, the creators are going to see the returns on that, not just Marvel or DC. So yeah, I really like Image for that.
Thing is, like, this is nothing new as well. Like, the creators of Superman had the same problem back in the day, and like, even like Ed Brubaker came out whenever they made the Captain America Winter Soldier movie. Like, obviously that's very much based on his work, but again, he has no power or no ownership of what he's created. So it's like, it's almost like only recently they're like taking a stand and, well, I'm not going to do that then. I'm not going to create all these new characters and do that, because I can do it for my own label, my own brand, and sell the rights that way. But I think we've yet to have that one kind of indie book, though, that's really kind of had the same kind of impact in like movies and TVs than like the DC stuff.
It'll come, I reckon.
Oh yeah, I mean, they've got like, there's obviously movies like The Old Guard, there's Lock and Key TV show, there's like Kanto, and Mark Miller has his own kind of imprint within Netflix and stuff too, so it will come. But I don't think it'll ever be the same kind of height as like Batman or Spider-Man or anything like that.
Yeah, true. Like, apparently they're still doing an Invincible live action movie. Like, I keep hearing talk about this constantly, and I'm like, why are you doing it at the same time as the animated show that's against all odds doing quite well? But I don't know. I think, what are you guys hyped for Jupiter's Legacy? Because I recently read the book. I am fucking hyped.
It looked cool. I've never read the book, but the trailer looked fantastic.
Yeah, it looked awesome.
I haven't watched the trailer yet. I don't like watching trailers if I don't have to, so I'm just going to go in blind. But I read the book recently as well, and I liked it more than I thought I would, so I'm quite excited in general.
Can I offer some word of advice on that, Adam? I done that with the Justice League Snyder Cut. I refused to read anything, see any trailers whatsoever. So when I watched it on the night it came, like obviously Jupiter's Legacy isn't the same as Snyder Cut, but when I watched it on the night, it's the 4.3 ratio. I thought there was something wrong. So I spent the first 15 minutes of the movie panicking, thinking, what have I done wrong with the settings on my PS5? What have I done? But if I had read beforehand that it's going to be in 4.3, I would have accepted it. I mean, no problem. But I had a real. So that's what happens when you avoid everything and you go in completely blind. You get stung like that.
I mean, I think I was messaging you, Marcus, at the time when we both kind of sat down the same evening. We watched the Snyder Cut, and I was saying to you, like, I wonder how many people are going to spend the first 15 minutes playing with their TV. And I guess that's Phil.
Yeah, sure.
So I was going to say another point on like kind of like people, the creators doing like their own stuff within Marvel and then move on to independent. The biggest example, even beyond Marvel and DC, is Keanu Reeves has done Berserker, and he now has a movie and an animated TV show by writing his own comic, but it was Keanu Reeves. Like, he already had the stock levels were there, if you know what I mean. It was Keanu Reeves.
A similar thing happened with Kick-Ass, though. I don't know if people remember this, but when Kick-Ass was coming out, I swear it was issue 2 that the movie rights were signed away. So that's why, like, issue 7 came out pretty much either just before the movie, or at least before the movie had or at least just after the movie had finished filming. So they kind of had to create their own ending because Mark Millar, like, so much was going on. I don't know what was holding it up. But they were pretty much that. It's kind of like Game of Thrones with a TV show that, like, we filmed everything that you wrote. Can you hurry up? And like, there was just nothing to film. And like, guess we'll add a jetpack.
Yeah, I got the feeling that with that, it was developed as a comic and a movie at the same time. I just got the impression that Mark Millar was talking to Matthew Vaughn, he directed the film. I think they were kind of co-developing it at the same time as each other. That was the impression I got. And that's why they seemingly kind of had that crossover period where the film was coming out and the comic wasn't really even done yet. I mean, either that or John Romita draws really, 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 really slowly. I don't know. But
He's on about 100 books a month, though. There's no way he draws slow. It's
not that he draws slow. He just draws really badly. I dislike John Romita Jr. I'm sorry.
I like some of his early stuff.
Yeah. The SpiderMan.
His modern stuff, I agree with you 100%. Like, I remember there was a variant cover when they went into the heroic age of Marvels, and it literally looked like everybody was 2D. Like, Thor was like this with his hammer. That was it.
I just don't understand, like, his kind of, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, he draws the bodies really long, and like they're not, like, the anatomy isn't, this doesn't look right one bit, and it's just not, it's not art's progressed far more beyond John Romita Jr. Like, it's just he's not for me.
To his credit, though, he had big shoes to fill with John Romita Sr.
Yeah.
If you look at some of his older artwork, though, it's nothing like what he does now, which is the crazy thing. Like, he used to draw a lot more kind of not generic, but like typical like house style or whatever. He used to be more towards that than what he currently does. It's like he just decided to go, no, I'm going to go this way.
Yeah, like his Daredevil stuff was great. I love Daredevil stuff.
The last thing I read that he had drew was the Superman Black Label book. I forget what it was called. It was Frank Miller.
I can see the cover in my head, but I can't think of it.
Yeah. And I mean, I read the whole story, but like the art sometimes took me out of it. It's not for me. But again, his older stuff is good, and but no, not for me. He's no Dan Mora.
Yes, I've seen a lot of, when it comes to John Romita Jr., I've seen a lot of the use of the word overrated. For you guys personally, just so that we can show that, opinions are personal to each other and it doesn't matter if you agree with them, what is something that you guys, whether it be a creator, a title, or even just a trope that's annoyed you, what is something that all three of you personally think is overrated in comics? To put you on the spot. Stephen had you back there, by the way. It was Superman Year One.
Superman Year One.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I know it's a difficult question. And it's a bit overrated as well. Just whilst you're thinking of your answers, overrated doesn't mean bad. Like, too many people think that if you say something's overrated, you're slating it. It's just not as good as everybody's brought it up to be. Like, something could be, everybody could think it's a 10 out of 10. If you think it's an 8 out of 10, by definition, it's overrated.
I actually had that opinion with The Killing Joke because I was, I've never read it, and then all these other people had read it, and everyone in the chat on the day on Nerdhood were giving it 10 out of 10 and all this, and I'd read it, and I'm like, because everyone was telling me it was great, and there was all this hype around it, that kind of built up this fantastic expectation for me in my head. And when I was reading it, it wasn't what I thought, and I was like, this, like, how is some of, like, I understand, like, how most of it is hype worthy, but I was like, why are people getting so thrilled about this book? Yeah, it's a cool book, and I bet it was fantastic in 1988 when it came out. But now, like, for me as a new reader who's, I've been reading all this stuff over the last year and a half and stuff, and I can appreciate it, and I gave it a 9 out of 10 in the end, but it didn't blow me away like people say that it should have.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's a short read, though.
It's a short read.
Yeah. What were you saying, Adam? Sorry, I didn't mean.
I was going to say, just I can see the point with The Killing Joke, and I feel like there's a few series where everyone just sings about it, like glowing reviews left, right, and center, that even if it is amazing, it might not be what you thought was the very highest tier. So even if it's really, really good, it's maybe still like you go in with that bar too high, and then if it's not exactly what you pictured as really, really good, because your idea of what is the very uppest tier is very rarely the same as most people. So I feel like that can just get in the way. And I feel like there's a couple of series where I recommend to people, like, this is really good, but please don't listen to everyone else telling you it's all really, really good. I think I did it a couple of times recently. Once was when I recommended Lock and Key to someone. I think once was when I was talking to you, Scott, about Black Hammer, where I was like, everyone's just raving about this. Don't listen to them. It is good, but just please, it's not the best thing ever.
Just keep my bar low a bit.
Yeah, keep your bar low.
Raise it myself.
If you go in too high, like, it is really good, but especially on a first read with something like Black Hammer, I don't think you're ready to get everything you can do out of a first read. Like, I feel like there's so much packed into Black Hammer that involves like comic history and all kinds of different little references that I don't think you pick that up on a first read, especially if you're new to comics. Like, I don't know if people who are new to comics who are getting Black Hammer, they're not going to go in and be like, oh, it's the best thing I've ever read. They're going to miss half of what's good about it.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of series, like Lock and Key is one of my very favorite series ever written.
Yes.
But I still, anytime I tell someone to read it, I'm like, don't listen to everyone. You might not like it. Like, just lower your bar a bit. It's like, it's not perfect. It's really, really good. It's not perfect.
I think because I've been like, I don't want to say hurt, but this has happened to me so much before. Like, people have hyped things up and I've been disappointed. So if people ever come to me asking for recommendations, I wouldn't say this is a fantastic book. I'd be like, look, I like this book. And then I would just say the synopsis, Lock and Key would be like a group of kids who've just had, their father's been murdered. They've moved house, and this house, uses keys that once you use them to unlock a door, something cool happens to you, like you turn into a ghost and you get big and stuff like that. And that's what I would say, but I wouldn't say fantastic book, it's the best thing ever, you should read it. And I'm not gonna, like, I know what you mean. Like, you've got to keep it level, because your bar isn't the same as everyone else's bar. And what you think is the criteria for a great book isn't necessarily someone else's criteria for a great book. For me, I'm more of I think a great book is a great book when it makes me feel emotional. That for me is a great book. If you tug on a few heartstrings, I'm in. That's what it is for me.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Yeah.
I'm going to be quite controversial and not pick a book, but pick a writer. And sorry, Marcus, I know the New 52 is your jam. But no, I obviously love Batman, The Court of Owls, and Scott Snyder's run. But I feel like I bought into the hype of Scott Snyder being a really good writer. And I just don't think he's for me. Like, I like Batman, I like the Black Mirror stuff, but even the independent stuff he's written since, it's like American Vampire is okay. I like it too. But
okay, that hurts. I love it.
No, but I've only read the newest volume. I intend to go back to read the older stuff. So I actually started with
it from this.
No, I started. I'm weird that way. I'll read from now and then go back and piece it together. But so yeah, Scott Snyder for me is not what. It's just not what people kind of big him up to be. I don't think like Undiscovered Country was hot garbage.
I think I got 2 issues into that and I stopped getting it. Yeah.
And there's been a few other books I've read of his. I'm just like, why am I reading this? I don't know what it is. Even his Justice League run as well wasn't great. And mad respect because like the Court of Owls and stuff and his run and that was fantastic. There's no doubt. But
love that.
Snyder for me was just not what people are kind of saying he is.
Yeah.
But apparently Noctera, his latest one's very good. Who knows? He might improve. But
I respect that, and that's why I think it's an interesting conversation to have. Because, like, for me, stuff that's overrated, Hawkeye by Matt Fraction, far and away, like, everybody's telling me this is one of the greatest Marvel runs ever. It's style over substance to me. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to go back and read it maybe when I haven't got that hype, like a few years from now, maybe I'll go back and read it and see. Now that I know my initial thoughts, do I look at it different now that I haven't got that hype? But I was reading it and I was like, this could have been 8 issues and done way more. So that's why I think, like, that's what makes the community fun is, talk. Like, honestly, I feel like I'm single-handedly carrying the reputation of the New 52, so never apologize to me for that. Like, it's literally just me that's like, come on, there's still some jam in this. Like,
oh man, it's not just
all
you.
the toast.
I'll have a slice of toast with you, definitely.
No, I'm the same. I'm not just the New 52 because that's kind of where I jumped onto comics as well. Was the Batman and the Dark Knight New 52 and the Justice League New 52. But it's just since then, kind of think, Scott Snyder must be really good. He hasn't lived up to that kind of hype that people give. But
do you ever do that? Do you ever go all in on a crate and then realize that maybe you just had the one lucky hand with them? So, like, obviously for yourself, you're saying about Scott Snyder that you liked his Batman stuff because obviously we're both chasing down that omnibus, but which I think will get reprinted. If you ever gone all in on a crate and being like, "Yep, this is my crate," and then you're like, "Nope, I just read the one good thing that they did," but you can't get your chips out. Has any of you guys ever felt like that? Like maybe you've had the rug pulled underneath you?
So, again, Seven Secrets is my favorite story, and Tom Taylor, I admire him completely as a writer for that story. And now I was speaking to Phil yesterday about the new Superman 1, where his son, was it Jonathan Kent, is now Superman, and I was like, is it worth picking this up? Like, one, because it's Tom Taylor, and one, because it's a new issue 1, and new Superman and all this kind of stuff. Is it worth picking up? And then I also want to pick up the Nightwing stuff because that's Tom Taylor, but I have this fear that like is it just Seven Secrets that he's nailed, or is he like this across the board? And I've never read anything else by Tom Taylor, and I'm just like, do I start reading this stuff or do I just leave it and just have Tom Taylor on this pedestal that I have him on already, and risk getting him down a few notches or raising up a few notches? I don't know if I want to risk that.
See, I have Tom Taylor on that same pedestal, and I've read Nightwing, I've read this Friendly Neighborhood SpiderMan. Even a Suicide Squad run last year was outstanding. And it's Suicide Squad. I could read Suicide Squad, but this run was outstanding. There's the all new Wolverine I haven't read it, but the omnibus I think is due at the end of this month or start of May, and I'm really looking forward to that. I don't think you'll be disappointed with Tom Taylor in Superman. I just think you'll be disappointed in Superman. It's one of the reasons why I'm not jumping. I don't know. I'm not really fond of Jonathan Kent, other than Super Sons. But I would have preferred Tom Taylor to have written Superman. Superman, not Jonathan Kent. Yeah. So I'm disappointed with that because that's what I wanted. I was tweeting and all for months, like when you doing Superman, when you announced Superman, thinking he was doing Superman, and he probably knew all along I am doing Superman. But
joke's on you, buddy.
Yeah. So and Highland G's mentioned there too, Injustice as well. It's just like based on the video games. I don't think he done the whole thing, did he, Adam? Do you know? He didn't do.
I think that's what he did, but I haven't read it ever, so I'm just going off what I thought.
I know
did you say he did Deceased?
Deceased, yeah. Oh yeah. Deceased and Deceased Unkillables is like a 3-issue mini in between the two Deceased seasons, and then Deceased 2 Dead Planet, and that other one was online. I told you about. What was it called? At World's End.
There's a Hope one as well, isn't there?
Yeah, that's got to be an omnibus coming out because that is fantastic. That is phenomenal.
I want to get those.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Because with that too, like, I mean, with Deceased Unkillables, especially, I'm not going to give too much away, but you'll never like be so like happy to be like a Bane fan, like. You really fall in love with like the ones you really shouldn't fall in love with, if you know what I mean. Okay. It's just the way he does. It's the Tom Taylor effect, I suppose, like, isn't it? But 100%. Yeah. Tom Taylor for me can do no wrong at the minute. But I'm like you as well. I dread the day where he releases a book that just falls flat in his arse, and I'm worried that it might be this Superman. It may not be, but I do fear that this could be it.
Would you try it?
Off a mess.
Would you try it?
Tom Taylor.
Would you
I was
try
going
it?
to say, it sounds like Tom Taylor. I saw that he put up something about, like, he was hinting that maybe he's doing Wolverine. Did any of you guys see that today?
Yeah, I seen this tweet. He had like what I'm writing, and it was the snick or the sound effect of the.
Yeah. And then Chip Zdarsky replied saying he had like a picture of Superman doing his heat vision, but snicked is the sound of. Like, honestly, I want Chip Zdarsky to write a comedy comic. I think he'd be like his sense of humor off of comics is peak.
See, he's another one too. Tom Taylor, Chip Zdarsky, and for me, Donny Cates. Like, they're the top 3 creators for me at the minute. Like, if they release books, I'm pretty much going to jump on them. Like, some don't take off for me, and that's fine. But generally, they are doing stuff that I love, and Chip Zdarsky is hilarious. He's so funny.
Yeah, like there was at one point when I just started this channel, he said if anybody donates $200 to his local comic shop, he'd jump on a live stream. But at that point, like, I was really struggling to get by, so I just couldn't afford it. If that happened today, even though it's way more than this channel makes, I'd just do it because could you imagine, like, if we just got drunk with him, just how much of a fucking laugh he'd be? Like, that'd be crazy. What would your guys' dream interview be? Sorry, Phil, what were you going to say? I apologize.
No, I mean, who my dream interview be? I don't know. I mean, there was a time just before Christmas there that I got really drunk one night, and I just thought to myself, because a few other people in the UK had creators and stuff on their channel, I just thought, you know what, stuff it. I got drunk, I went on Instagram, and I messaged Donny Cates and Tom Taylor and Chip Zdarsky and Scott Snyder. I messaged all the top hitters, all the big names in comics, like it must be about a dozen of them. I maybe I didn't start off too well. I was like, I'm a small little YouTube channel here in the UK. Would you mind coming on the show just to help me out, whatever? But we'll have so much fun. We'll get drunk and whatever. Obviously, no one replied. Not a single reply. But, you know, at least I tried.
You miss 100% of the chances you don't take. That's why I'm certain Alan Moore is going to reply to me one day. That email is going to get read by him, and he's going to go, fuck it.
Why not?
Probably not as high pitched as I just was. And I'll be here sweating as anything. I'm like, Do you like comics
that-
anymore?
But that's the other thing too. It's like yes, you can message creators and stuff, and like it's almost like obviously you want them to say yes, but the minute they say yeah, I'll come on, it's like, oh shit! Now I have to do something. Now I have to think of questions that they're not asked a million times by everyone else. You have to think of trying to do something unique, but then they don't want you to be unique either because they know what you're going to ask. They're essentially there to promote their books or something, you know. But yeah, like if a creator ever said yes to come into my show, I would panic. I think.
I mean, I guess that's not including Comic Airwaves, though, right? Because I mean, you had Tony Parker on last month. Last month.
Yeah, what a guy! He was great.
That was a great interview, by the way. I loved that. That was a very good show.
Thanks, man. I think, like, you know, in the past, like, you know, like I've said before, we went live here. Like, I used to be a radio presenter and stuff like that, and I used to interview bands, and you know, I've interviewed people in the past and stuff like that. And I think it just, at the end of the day, people are people. You know, a guy is a guy. You know, you're just going to talk to them. It doesn't matter how big or famous they are. They're just like you. They just want to talk, and you want to listen to them talk, and that's all it comes down to. But yeah, Tony Parker was so cool, and he could talk, and not in a bad way, but it was so great and so nice for me and Phil. Like as a first interview for Airwaves, it was just so nice to have a guy you just ask a simple question, and he just answered that simple question, but then went on this little nice tangent. And I think everyone, you know, you were there, Adam, and you know, you said you enjoyed it, and a lot of other people said they enjoyed it. No one said they didn't enjoy it. But he was such a nice guy, wasn't he, Phil? He was so chill.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them ones where the kind of segment, whenever we planned it, we didn't know how long we'd be interviewing him for. We kind of thought 10, 15 minutes, but it went beyond that. But even then, we probably cut him short. We could have had another half an hour on top of that. Yeah. I think he would have been happy to stay on as well himself. Like he was enjoying it. I do have one criticism, of course, and that was the fact that he loved Scott's jingle for one of our game shows. You know, Scott had a wee sing song, and Tony Parker was rocking to it, and I was like, don't encourage him. Don't encourage him.
He was getting very into that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he loved that. But other than that, yeah, he was a lovely fellow. Like yeah, and like I say, I wish we had him on for longer, but unfortunately, Comic Airwaves is bigger than Tony Parker, and we had a show to do. So
we got a plan. We got to stick to it. But yeah, we've got another interview this month. So Comic Airwaves is on tomorrow, and we're going to be interviewing Mike Spicer, who he's a colorist. He's recently colored Beta Ray Bill, and he's done Wonder Woman Dead Earth, and he's done so many cool covers. He's done, was it Murder Falcon, Extremity? Like, so he works with Marvel, DC, and Image. I think those are his big ones that he works with. But yeah, like he seemed really cool, and he's like, I messaged him yesterday. He's really looking forward to jumping on and just having a chat and playing a game, and it's just gonna be good fun.
Yeah, so check that out.
That one as well. So make sure you're subscribed.
So I mean, this is a nice chance.
Desk.
I mean, can I take this opportunity to big up Airwaves a bit more?
Mate,
please.
Take the old stream if you want.
Right, let's go. Welcome to Comic Airwaves.
No, just don't take the woof.
Yeah.
We'll do wave instead. So yeah, Comic Airwaves is a 4-month-old project that Phil and I are working on. It was born because of the fact that I used to be a radio presenter. I missed that kind of aspect, and now I'm kind of merged that with comics, and Phil is my sexy co-host, and he's the person that brings the audience, really. But we kind of make it is a radio show, but a one you can watch, I think. Do you agree as a viewer?
Yeah, definitely. And I remember when you were getting ready for that first episode, and it's just so good that you hit the ground running with it as well. Whilst you said that Phil's your sexy co-host, Adam, yes, you're definitely my sexy co-host, so don't feel left out.
Thanks, Thank you.
But yeah, like I know that it was such a passion project for you that I'm so glad that, like I said, you managed to hit the ground running with it. And yeah, buy the mugs. Get them mugs in. Just green screen in post-production, Marcus.
And the thing about the show is too, like I mean, I'm not trying to like big up Scott, but Scott's friend Liam as well works on it as well. And to be fair, them two boys do a lot more work than me, but there is quite a lot goes into it. And that's why it's monthly and not weekly, because if we done it weekly, God, it just wouldn't be the same.
I would.
Because there's a lot goes into it. Like I say, even getting the creators and stuff on and kind of doing little skits and whatever else. So yeah, it's something we both really love doing. And at the minute, like the community, people who watch it and engage with us definitely seem to enjoy it as well. And that's, if that wasn't the case, it probably would die a death, but we enjoy it and everyone else is enjoying it. So yeah. So come along and check us out and see if you enjoy it yourselves.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Like, say a big shout out to Welsh Liam, by the way.
Yeah, Welsh Liam.
Producer
Welsh Liam.
Of Comic Airwaves.
Yeah, he's a great guy. But yeah, like, tomorrow's show, we're going to have features. We're going to have Ask Auntie Phil, which is a popular one where people, it's like an advice column section where people just come and ask Auntie Phil any questions they want. We do Book of the Month. We've started a new feature called Scott versus Phil. We've got 2 challenges coming up for that one tomorrow, and what else? We've got a giveaway. I can't forget the giveaway. It's just I'm giving away like a little stack of just 4 comics, but I've got 5 different lots to give away. But I think the biggest thing I want to push for this is the fact that Comic Airwaves is a community-driven show. Like every episode has been different. Like there's been a new feature or a change to a feature, or something new has happened, something has been added or taken away or changed, and it's all because of the suggestions that people send in and they chat to me, and we have new ideas based on the episode we've just done. And yeah, it's ever changing, and it's all for you pretty much, and it's just a laugh. It's just good fun. Like it's not all comics. Like my mum watched it and she stayed for the whole episode and she understood everything, and that's what I was going for. Like, it's not for seasoned comic veterans, it's not just for new people, it's literally for everyone. And there's comics in there too, and there's there's bits of me, there's bits of Phil, and it's just good fun.
That's what I really like. And me and Adam were speaking in the pre-chat, like you can tell that it's not just something that you thought, like, this stream, besides us setting up like, hey, when can we do? There's no script, there's no nothing. You can tell with yourselves. And Adam said this, and I agreed with it, so I don't know who gets more credit for that. But you can tell that you think about it throughout the month. And if anything, it probably works better it being a monthly series than a weekly series, because you've got a month's worth of passion in it. A month's worth of passion sounds so dodgy, I'm not going to lie. But
that's going to be the episode of the next, the title of the next episode. A month of passion. Yeah.
But yeah, like you could just tell, like, I feel like to you guys, Comic Airwaves is to you what Whale Watch is to me. Like, it's not just the 10 minutes before it starts. It's a whole month's worth of passion, devotion, work. Pardon, sorry, mate?
It's your baby.
I wouldn't go that far. I don't. I can't look after myself.
It's my baby. It's my project.
Like, that's why I really want. Like, if there's anybody, obviously people who are watching this have probably checked it out already. But if you haven't, make sure you're there tomorrow. Show them some love. Put some woof woofs in the comments just to spice it up a little bit. Throw them off guard a little bit. But like, honestly, just hats off to you, because what you're doing with that, I wish I could do the same thing. Whereas MDC's just become, fuck it, no script. So hats off to you both for that.
Thank you, mate. Cheers. Thanks.
The funny thing is, too, you said like a month of passion and preparation, and it is like we do kind of plan things in advance, but there's nothing like last minute work, and it's always kind of like the week leading up to it. It's like that's been panic mode. And I'll be honest, I've seen an entirely different side of Scott than before Comic Airwaves, because like the last week it's just like so much to do for the show. And I literally am like I procrastinate the best of times, and Scott probably knows that too, and probably gets frustrated. But like the last week, it is kind of all go a wee bit, and that's why we really appreciate Liam as well, because Liam takes a lot of the heavy lifting.
He's a good boy. He is a good boy. Cheers to Liam.
Yeah. So yeah, that's 8:30 tomorrow, GMT over in Scott's channel.
Yes, come on down, please. It's going to be amazing, please.
but stay for the rest of this one.
Yes,
Like, it literally sounds like we're wrapping up, and I'm like, wait, I swear I still got you for 20 minutes. But yeah, that's
what that more
like,
article.
I just love the dynamic between you two. Like, that's why I'm really glad that, you know, I met Adam, which only happened because of the Snyder Cut. Like, no matter what we think about that film, I don't know if you remember, Adam, but that is the reason we started talking, because of the Snyder Cut. Because I did a video on it, and you were like the only person who commented positively on it, and you sent me like a comment that long, and I replied. Then we started talking.
That's what I do.
Classic Adam.
Like, legit, you would send me comments like that long, and I was like, I'll answer that when I've got time, because I don't want to give him like a 3 week. No, I don't like giving people like a. That's why I'm so bad at responding to Instagram messages, because I don't want to give somebody like a thanks or an okay or a thumbs up. I'm like, if I'm going to reply to somebody, I want you to know that I've read your message and I'm actually giving you a reply rather than just a generic thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's why, like, me and Adam just started talking that way, and I like that you guys have that dynamic as well. And
thanks.
I really that's like a highlight for me, because I love Melanie and Omar. I think they're fantastic. So the fact that she's subbed to my channel, it's like, I don't know, that's like, I'm like starstruck.
Yeah.
Can't even speak. I'm tongue tied.
I remember what I love about them two as well. Like I don't know how busy they must be. Like, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I just get people randomly messaging me saying, hey, can you find me this book? And that can happen a good 4 or 5 times a day. Someone on Omar's level must be getting like shit tons of messages each and every day. But anytime I've messaged him, even from like day one, because I think I added him the first day that I started doing videos, and he was always just there to respond to messages, and Melanie's always just been there to respond to messages. So honestly, like, it's hats off to them as well for just like the amount of sheer work that must just go into it.
That's the passion, I suppose, really, isn't it? For the medium, really, isn't it?
That's not just a month of passion as well.
It's a lifetime.
Yeah, exactly. And what Adam said as well a few weeks ago, it's like waves of comic channels that, you know, iFanboy was probably the first. And I'm always gonna hold them. iFanboy is always gonna be my boys. I messaged him, Ron from iFanboy, and I was like, "Would you ever come on me stream? I've been a fan of yours since I was 12." Didn't respond to me, and I can't blame him. Like, it was the worst message I've ever sent to anybody. That guy who sent me dick pics that I didn't ask for sent a better, more well-structured message than I sent to Ron from iFanboy. But
no one in the audience had the context of what you just talked about, sending dick pics, by the way.
They already just got... That was enough context. They don't need any more. But, yeah, like... And then, obviously, like... Omar was one of the, like, my inspirations for getting into YouTube. And when I started, we just entered lockdown. My friend had just passed away. I didn't expect it to happen. Like, he was the first person who ever properly called me the Maddogg. Like, everybody else just sort of taking the piss. He was the first person like, no, okay, that's a part of you. So, you know, I kind of named myself that as sort of in honor of him as well, in a weird way. And Omar was one of those channels that I was like, you know what? I wish I could show that I've got a similar level of passion as him, but I'm more like money saving. That's kind of my thing. I'm never going to out Omar because he's Omar. That was way too long time. I swear that... Is that like double negative? I don't know. But, you know, I just really wanted to be able to almost do what he did for me to hopefully somebody else. Whereas now I feel like we don't have waves with channel. This was the point that I was getting to. Like, there isn't this second wave and third wave or whatever wave. It's just one big community. And I think it is great. And I don't know about you guys, but are you guys really excited for like the next year, the year after that, and everything that goes forward with it?
I'm a bit apprehensive though, because as I mentioned earlier on, when lockdown and COVID's officially done with, I think you'll find people will stay the course and people won't. So I think in terms of the wave we're all right, I agree with you, one big community, but I do feel that it might get less people in this time next year because they are back to going to pubs and stuff like that. But then that's only the UK, because I think other countries, obviously, they don't have the same restrictions and stuff. But yeah, like I'm looking forward to it personally, and I know I'm committed to it, but I like to think everyone else who I've met along the way is as well. I just hope that normality doesn't take them back to reality. Just stay in our little bubble.
Well, I never had a life before lockdown, Phil. So if the worst comes to worst and everyone's down the pub every night, it's me and you. We'll do this YouTube thing. We'll stay the course. Everyone else can just go enjoy the outside world.
Am I getting mutinied from my own channel right now? What's going on here?
Everyone knew this was just temporary for you, man. You don't have any. Yeah, you don't have any stake in this.
I'm just a hype train.
Exactly.
See the fear as well. Like, not even just with YouTube. Like, in recent weeks, like, my friends have been talking about, yes, we'll go out to the pubs, we'll meet up for a pint and stuff. That all sounds great, but I have like my friends from work, my friends from my old job, my friends from uni, my friends that I've met along the way too. Like, I can't go out every weekend when the pubs first open, or else I'll have no money for comics. So it's like trying to tell these people that I'm sorry, I can't go out because I buy comic books. Sorry, it's not happening.
You're just thinking you're there with a pint and you're like, I wonder which issues I'm drinking here.
Exactly.
One trade paperback of beer.
Yeah. And the thing is too, like, my friends, like in the real world, don't know I do YouTube. So like, if I'm doing like comic airwaves on a Saturday evening, they're like, "Oh, we're going to go out tonight." It's like, I'm busy. I'm sorry. I'm occupied.
It does. Like, we've not actually spoken about this. Like, that baffles me. Like I think I waited. I didn't tell my friends until I had 50 subscribers. I was like, right, I'm not like gonna tell anyone until I have 50 subscribers. Obviously Amy knew, and that was pretty much it. I didn't tell anyone else. And then I got 50, and then I was really nervous about telling my friends, but I'm glad I did, because when I see them now, they're like, "Oh, how's the YouTube going?" Or, "I saw you hit 150 subscribers the other day, and I saw you did this video with Amy the other day." And it's nice, and it kind of turns into like this talking point. But I feel like, Phil, the way you speak about it, your friends will rip the shit out of you if they know you.
They will. See, this is not my first YouTube channel. I've just
you have
just
a
like
relationship advice channel.
yeah, but I didn't have 3,000 subs. But like, no, me being a fan of like Jay's 2 Cents and MKBHD, like the big like technology giants and stuff. So I thought, I'm gonna do that. So I started like a little tech channel.
Like review tech and stuff.
Yeah, but I couldn't obviously afford like an iPhone 10 Pro Max, whatever they're called these days. So I was just like doing like stuff I had. And it was woeful, and my friends found it somehow, and they ripped the back out of me. Like, I wasn't surviving that night out. It was brutal. I can take stick, I can take the piss being taken out of me type thing. But so yeah, whenever I created this channel, I thought, I'm not going to tell a soul.
So when they finally come over, when they're allowed to come over and visit you, when they see the man cave. And the camera and the microphone and everything.
Well, to be fair, they've seen this because
I do porn.
Yeah, just soft porn movies. That's what I make. Yeah. But no, they've seen this. To be fair, we've done like Zoom calls, we've had drinks and things, whatever. But they haven't. They don't know the context. They just assume I'm a nerd and like comic books, but they don't know I, go out live to millions of people across the world.
Yeah,
it's weird because it's been the opposite for me. People thought it was weird when I was just buying them and collecting them. Then I'm like, oh no, I've got a channel that, okay, makes sense now. Like, as if it's sort of validated what I'm doing, like the hobby itself. And I know, Adam, you spoke about like, broaching that subject with your friends, and you recently told your best friend that apparently isn't me, which I got a bit offended about. I'm not going to lie.
Sorry,
I've literally said to somebody, my best friend Adam, and it apparently isn't a two-way street. So, but yeah, you told someone recently.
Oldest, I think. Not old, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I've told specifically one person. Hi, Tom. If you're somehow watching this.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, Tom, I'm coming for you.
The other thing, like I told him, but So when I told him, it was awkward because I think he thought I was like coming out of the closet, or I was telling him I was really ill, or like I'm dying. Like, it was proper one of those, like, I think I just built it up in the wrong way when I told him. So
can we try and reenact this? Would it be like, Adam, hey, how you doing, mate? Can we talk about something?
Yeah.
And then, oh, right, okay. Well, you see, the thing is, it's been going on for a while now. I haven't told anyone. I didn't want to tell anyone. I thought I'd tell you first.
I feel really I'm supporting whatever this is. Whatever
Okay,
this is.
right. This is hard. Personally,
Can
this
you
is hard.
virtually hold each other's hands just so I can get the real thing?
So the issue is that, well, it's not an issue, but I listen. I do YouTube. Is that how it went?
When you say it like that, it just sounds really silly, doesn't it? Like the kind of suspense.
I think it was even worse than that, to be honest. I think there was more build-up, and there's probably more of me waffling. But then I told him, and he was like, "Oh, I thought you were dying," and I was like, "No, I'm all right. I'm all right." But I've only told one person, and it's him. So hi, Tom. I didn't even tell him my channel. I was like, I'm telling you I'm doing it, but I'm not telling you where to find me. So I don't want you
allowed to watch.
Yeah. But then I accidentally told him about Marcus, and then he found Marcus and then found me through that. So
and now they're going to fight.
Oh, you'd win.
Did he subscribe? That's all. Just tell me, please.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he's subscribed
Hi, Tom.
to me. He's putting food on your table now. So yeah, hi Tom.
Legit.
But no, it was really awkward, and I'm glad it's only him who knows, because I can't bear that however many more times. Like, I'm done with telling people. So that's where it starts and ends for me.
Yeah.
There's SCCs. Legit.
I mean, yeah, drugs are always better, right? Drugs are good. Isn't that what people say?
Bro, stop trying to get me demonetized, bro. I don't get much from this channel anyway. That 45 pence for the month is gone now.
I'll pay you back. I'll definitely get that first round in, aren't I?
But legit, I was the exact opposite. When I was like, right, I'm going back into YouTube, I'm like, guys, please just get behind me on this one. I don't want it to be another channel that 6 years from now I'm giving up on. Just get behind me. And then, like, there was silence. So, like, I think for me, it was as long as it was around. Like, if I would have told people now, they apparently would have had the exact same effect. But I don't know. It was really nice because this time around for me, my parents, like, really got behind me. Whereas I wrote a book for 3 years and they did not ask once about it.
Oh, my God.
Because, no, it's not against them. It's just when I was a kid, I was that fucking irritating kid that had a new life passion every week. That was like, this week I'm going to be a football player. I can't fucking run to save my life. This time I'm going to play guitar. I've got the fucking most T-Rex arms that could ever exist in humanity. So I think when I was writing, it was the next thing. And you know what I mean? It's like, okay, you're going to win a Man Booker Prize. And I think that's what's...
I was going to say that's what my wife thinks of my YouTube adventure. Like, she used to call me Mr. Ideas. Like, I have all these big grandeur ideas and stuff, but like, I just move on to the next one. And she kind of thought like comic books was one, and then YouTube was another one. Like, what's the next thing? Maybe it will be OnlyFans. I mean, if there's a market for it, you know, like
Phil's Pervyverse. I'm there for it.
Don't ruin my name, please. Don't do that.
Phil's Nudiverse.
Phil's
Oh, it was literally right there.
I think that one's taken. I mean, I've heard. I don't know.
Wow. Oh man,
dear.
Adam, you've derailed it. I don't know what to say. You've left me speechless. Well done. The first time it's ever happened. But yeah, like, I don't know. What do you guys think is going to happen for the community overall? Because I know, Phil, what I wanted to just sort of go back to when you were saying about, like, when lockdown eases, you think that half will probably go. Do you mean half the creators or half of the viewership or both or none?
I would say a bit of both, because again, we're all I have actually made a point to try and watch more TV than YouTube. But a few months ago, I was watching more YouTube than TV, and I thought I'm missing out on all these shows. Like, what am I doing? So I actually watch less YouTube now than I did before. And I feel like once things go back to normal, like, people still watch YouTube on their phones when they're commuting to work and so on, and that's fine. And I do feel like there'd be a bit of both. That some creators just won't have the time for it, or people watching won't have the time for it, and that's fine. I mean, you might find people who maybe stream every day or do a channel or a video every day. They might do one a week or whatever. They might reduce their amount, but I think there's not everyone's in for the long haul, which is a shame because, like I say, that this last year the community has definitely grew. I mean, I'm forever finding new channels, particularly UK channels, because we all know the big US ones, but there's forever like new UK ones I'm finding and subbing to and watching their stuff and messaging them. Even like Adam and Comic Bound, like I found Adam through Marcus, and I found Marcus through. And there's
he owes me money now. It's the affiliate team.
It's all going into that first round. I'm going to get you absolutely smashed at this rate.
So it's
is this just a pint of Sambuca?
Don't talk about Sambuca. I can taste it. Oh.
Black Sambuca's the one that gets me. The one that tastes like aniseed.
Do you want me to tell you a story that's a bit gross, but like it might be funny? That's funny for some people.
Yes.
So this is years ago. I don't drink Sambuca, and the reason being, I went out one night with my friend, and just me and him, just like we're just free that night, just so we can get drunk, and we ended up buying like I don't know why they had like an offer in Sambucas, like flaming Sambucas, right? So they had we had like 30 lined up, but there's 2 of us, so we were just doing the Sambucas. That was fine. I can take a hangover, no issues. Next day I was severely hungover, and you do your normal thing, you brush your teeth, you get washed and whatever, and I was in the shower. I still live with my parents this time, so I was in the shower trying to refresh whatever, and my dad had just bought new shower gel, like Lynx shower gel. I can't remember what it was called, so I wasn't thinking about it, and I just put it in my hand, lathered it up, and started washing my body. But it was like an aniseed flavour shower gel. I was feeling really rough, so I was just sitting there in the shower, lathering up, washed myself, boking all over my feet in the shower. It was gross. So the shower was full of my sick. And since that time, I just can't touch Sambuca, or I don't eat anything to do with aniseed. I don't want to know. Don't want to think about it. Awful.
Off my shelf just made a good point.
That's I was a young pup then. I couldn't grow a beard back then days. I was baby smooth. Yeah.
Oh man, if we're gonna get into gross stories, the one alcohol I can't smell anymore is J Spiced rum. Because
that's my rum.
I know, but like we drank that on New Year's when it was mine and Shadowcat's first New Year's together. And I got proper drunk. I got so fucking drunk. I can't even lie. Like physically couldn't move the next day. And honestly, J Spiced rum, every time I smell it now, I'm like, oh, I just remember like kissing her uncle, because that's how drunk I got. So I just every time I smell that alcohol, I just remember the guilt.
At least it wasn't a Rosal.
That's going to put a bit of a downer on our drinking. If I can't drink that around you, and that's
just
literally...
don't bring your uncle, and you're fine.
Okay,
deal.
Has everyone got a weird uncle story like that? I feel like I've got one as well. But
yeah, but normally it's their own uncle, not someone else's that I've gone towards.
He might have just been a really, really good-looking fella, and you just thought, hi.
Oh yeah, like he looks a bit like Jason Momoa. He's a good-looking dude. Like the thing is, I'm not one of them that like, I can't say anybody else is good-looking. No, he's a fucking good-looking dude. He wasn't Brad Pitt. He wasn't like. Actually, yeah, I'd go for Brad Pitt more.
Yeah, you tell your uncle's not as good-looking as Brad Pitt.
Yeah, that justifies me actions in my head.
Can anyone really say they've got a Jason Momoa vibe anymore, though, if they don't take their shirt off every 2 seconds and somehow materialize a new shirt?
And
I don't know. Anyone
who's watched
the Spider Cut knows what I mean.
Brad Pitt, though, is anybody else surprised that Brad Pitt hasn't been poached into the MCU? I don't know who he'd play.
I'm fine with that.
What?
I love Brad Pitt, but I think he's just too old.
See, Adam, you made Adam leave now. Well done.
I'm not being like ages. I just think like if
that's where I draw the line. Sorry.
yeah, I just think when it comes to like Marvel movies, they obviously want someone to kind of dedicate like 10 years to making sequels and like the big whatever. So I just think like if they were to bring Brad Pitt in, obviously they could bring him into as a character who might die in the first movie or such.
Bad guy or coming as a bad guy.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. But I just think like if you want Brad Pitt in your movie, you kind of want him to be in the franchise for a bit longer, wouldn't you? But then maybe they're just fearful of like his looks might disappear. Brad Pitt's looks will disappear one day. Mine went in a day. Like it was about a year ago. I was a really good looking chap, and then just my looks went. Yeah. So Brad Pitt's looks they will go one day.
Could you imagine though? Because obviously Aunt May's a lot younger now. Could you imagine if Brad Pitt plays Uncle Ben? I don't think I could hack that. I don't think I could watch Brad Pitt die.
No, because he would also like he would take the spotlight, wouldn't he? Really, I suppose. Like, you know, I mean, wherever Brad Pitt is, he kind of owns the screen as such, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I want him to play me in the movie of me, just so it's a complete lie.
I don't
were you
think
50 years old when you were 14.
I don't think he can live up to it, Marcus. I don't think he'd be good enough. You know.
Yeah. Could you imagine? He's just like, wait, so you call yourself the Maddogg, but you're nervous at everything? Like, how do I get into character with that? Who do you guys? Ideally, who would you want to play you in a movie? Like,
to be fair, I have an answer for this, but unfortunately, he's no longer with us. And people. I've been referred to looking similar to two people. One is I forget his name. He's the guy.
Eddie Hall?
No.
He is
Gavin Stacey. He does American Talk Show. So my dad, my own father referred to me as the fat James Corden, and James Corden is, he's a beefy fella, but my dad calls me the fat James Corden. But Phillips Seymour Hoffman was another one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to say it till you said it, in case that was not what you were gonna say. And
people say like
you
this.
Think I look like Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Yeah. That's what I get a lot.
I know Eddie Hall. I was only saying facially. Like, I know Eddie Hall goes to my gym, so I can say what I want. But
I don't even know who Eddie Hall is.
World's Strongest Man. 2017.
Oh wait, no, yeah, I do know that.
Oh, the Beast. Is that call him the Beast?
Yeah, he goes to my gym. Well, he used to. He's got his own home gym now. He's really raking it in.
Yeah, we've got the same kind of. Well, he's slightly bigger than me, but the same muscular structure.
Yeah, he's only got he's just more fat. You're just like if he was pure muscle. That's what.
Yeah. I'm
he's gonna punch me in the face. If he ever saw this, he's gonna fuck me up. Like, I'm not gonna lie. He's gonna use me as a warm up. Like that's how...
Phil, you are who Eddie Hall aspires to be.
Yeah, they wish he could get you.
I am pretty much who everyone should inspire to be.
Shall I tell you who I reckon they cast as me though? I've thought about this for a while because obviously it's inevitable that the movie's going to happen. But do you remember Dane DeHaan, who played the Green Goblin in The Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Oh, yeah.
That's who they're going to get.
Yes.
He's a great actor, but they won't get me musculature right with him. It's really going to wind me up.
I really didn't like him in that film. I like those two Amazing Spider-Man films more than probably most people do. But what was he doing in that film? And as well, what did they do with the Green Goblin? I don't get what they did with the Green Goblin in that. Yeah. Everything else was, I thought, all right. But
it's a real shame because I really liked it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
The Amazing Spider-Man, because I really liked Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. And like the whole kind of those two movies I thought were really good. And obviously, like if you get Emma Stone in your franchise, like you're doing something right because she's fantastic. And I just feel like people just disregard those two movies, like they don't count. But I really, you're right. The Green Goblin was terrible.
He was, yeah.
And even for Electro, like Marcus was saying, like again, it had promise, but again, I didn't really understand a lot of the scenes with Electro either. It was just a strange mash of characters. I have no idea, but overall, I still really liked. Even the first one was great.
I think I liked him as Spider-Man more than I liked both the films or whatever. Like I liked Andrew Garfield's
fair,
Spider-Man, but also I think it's the very first 5-10 minutes of the second film where he's just like web slinging and he's chasing an arm. That was amazing. Like I don't think they've done Spider-Man that well on screen since. That to me was like bang on. But yeah, Electro I didn't like, but yeah.
Well, wasn't there a thing in the Tom Holland movies? Remember it was the post-credit scene where he was swinging through New York. Was that not the first time in those two movies that he was swinging through the city? Am I right in that?
Because
the first
Queens, wasn't he, for the
the first movie was like kind of like in a residential kind of area, wasn't it, almost? And then obviously on the plane and stuff. And then also the next movie was London. So I thought that was like they needed to do more New York scenes with Tom Holland, I think.
Yeah,
I mean that makes sense to me because I can't remember much web slinging parts of the Tom Holland stuff. All I remember, I mean, I've only seen each one once. I'm not the biggest fan of those two films. I know everyone loved Homecoming and stuff, but I loved Michael Keaton in Homecoming more than I loved Homecoming. So yeah.
I think personally, we're coming back to the actor thing. I've been told, right? So these are the ones I like to cling on to that people have said, you look like this person, right? The first one, this depends on how my hair looks, right? The first one is Jack Whitehall, right?
Oh, you do?
I can see
100%.
that.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You're funny, though.
Thanks.
Jack Whitehall is only funny when his dad's around him. He is not funny. So at least you're funny on your own.
Thanks.
I don't know if you're funnier with your dad. Like that can be the MDC 6 if you want.
To bring my dad on.
Yeah.
And then the second one, which is the one I prefer, it's Dan Bigger, the Welsh rugby player. People have said I look like him before, so that's nice. So I'd have either of those to play me.
Who are the other ones?
I don't remember.
You just choose not to say.
No, those are the only ones I've clung on to and remembered. So that's all you get in.
I feel like there's one that you haven't told us.
There isn't.
I feel like I have one for Adam. I don't want to say it. It's kind of like you did not wanting to say Philip Seymour Hoffman. I don't know if I want to say this one. Do you?
Do you want him to say his choices first in case he says?
You do your choices first.
I don't have any. I genuinely don't know. I don't know. Phil, go on.
I don't know the actor's name, but we've all seen American Pie, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's the guy who sleeps with Stifler's mum.
Sure. Wait.
I remember his nickname. They call him Shitbrick for a while because he had the runs, but I don't know his actual name in the show. But I think you look like him. To be honest,
thanks, man.
It's not a bad thing.
I'm wishing
he's a
I
good
went
looking
first with the Philip Seymour Hoffman thing now.
He's a good looking fella. I'm not saying it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
The thing is, as well, on sort of
not the Shermanator. Not the Shermanator. Not him. No. Someone's written Shermanator on the comments. Not him.
That's just mean, man.
No, not him. No. That's not fair.
Legit, though. I know this isn't the exact same thing, but if you ever watched a film and gone, yeah, that'd be me. Because every time I watch Terminator 2, do you know the bit where the T-800... yeah, every time. I'm traveling through time. Can't get enough of it. I travel in time, see which of my videos does well, then come back and then does them wrong anyway. So, but like, do you know the bit in Terminator 2 where the T-800's first walking down John Connor's running away in the Galleria and Arnold's following him, and it's the first bit where the T-1000 turns the cover and he's like, "Get down," and then he'll get down, and there's a cleaner who's just
in
like,
the corridor,
"Hey, he goes, "Hey, you're not supposed to be back here," and then he gets shot and dies. I'm like, that would have been me every time. That would be me. Because I used to be a cleaner in the hospital, and honestly, nobody ever gives a shit about you. Like, honestly, there were people that will literally walk on your own feet, and I'm like, that would be me. Every time I've watched Terminator ever since, I'm like, that's me. So has there ever been a character? You can even choose a comic because apparently we read them, but Is there ever been like a character that you've gone, that's me?
In an ironic way. Is that what you mean?
Pardon, sorry?
Do you mean like in like some sort of ironic way?
Yeah, like you just go, I get that character, that's me.
Pretty much anything Tom Hardy's ever been in, I would pretty much say that's, yeah. I don't know.
Personally, no. I don't.
Especially Peaky Blinders.
Yes, I love the Peaky Blinders, but yeah, no. That's my answer. Sorry.
It's fine. Like I said, there's no script for this.
Actually, yes, I have an answer. Do you remember that movie? I forget what it's called. Chris Pine and Denzel, and it was like the train was like, speeding through the towns, whatever. They couldn't stop it. Do you remember that guy who didn't put the wee knuckle on the train, so the train ran on? He was an idiot. Like, he was a plonker who didn't put the brakes on or something like that. I feel like that would be me in a movie. Like, I would just be that stupid to do something like that. That's me every time.
That was a great film as well. Like, yes, that's it. Unstoppable.
Yeah.
I'm not taking credit for it. It was John who came in with the answer.
But see, the guy who played that one I'm talking about, he's been in loads of movies. You know his face when you see him. He's been in loads of movies, but he's always been the big fella, the overweight fella. But now he's like got his own kind of like Instagram account where he is robust and ripped to shit. Like, he's all promoting his keto stuff, and he is a big muscular guy now. Like, I can't think of his name, but
it's like Bruce Bogtrotter out with Matilda's apparently jacked now.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the boy who eats chocolate cake.
Or is it like Neville Longbottom, where he's not in shape,
Neville.
he's not as booted as he looks? Like, Neville Longbottom isn't really in that great of shape. He's just not Neville Longbottom anymore.
He just looks good. He's got a tidy haircut.
Yeah, like, he's got an aesthetically pleasing face, but...
Yeah, but no, like, well, he's not fat anymore, is he? That kid from Matilda. You know, I think so many people gave him a stick for eating the chocolate cake and everything. That's him. Like, if he goes, hi, I'm whatever his name was, and you go, the kid from Matilda that eats a chocolate cake, or the fat boy that eats the whole cake, you know, that's gonna stick with him, and he's gonna be like, I don't want to be fat anymore. He's gonna try and make himself look tidy, isn't he?
The guy I was talking about, you call him Ethan Suplee, I think it's pronounced. And like, if you check him out on Instagram, he's no longer fat. He's a big guy, but it's just like, you know, I like to see a fight between him and The Rock. Basically, I think that'd be a good heavyweight bout. He's a big muscular guy now. Like,
shall I tell you what I watched recently with The Rock? It's the Titan Games on Netflix. Have you ever seen it?
No.
It's basically Gladiators, but for today's generation. So, like, they've clearly got a health and safety inspector there. Whereas Gladiators was just like, yeah, fall off this climbing wall. We don't care. Like, yeah, we'll have somebody chase you whilst you're suspended up in midair. We don't care. Like, jump from this rope. So they clearly got like health and safety, but it's really fun to watch. And the guys I wanted to win won, so I was really happy about that. So I'd recommend that you check it out. But is there anything that you're watching at the minute that, not necessarily comic stuff, because I know, Adam, you like watching a lot of stuff in your spare time. Is there anything that you guys have watched?
Say that, all I do is relive my old shows that I rewatch stuff. I don't watch anything new anymore.
I can't do that. I can't rewatch.
What?
I can't do
Breaking Bad.
I'm similar. I don't really watch TV shows. I don't think. Apart from cartoons, like Batman animated series or something.
I'll allow that. I mean, that's rewatching, and that's the best thing to rewatch is cartoons, and definitely Batman the animated series. So
there is, I think, when I think of rewatching, the only thing that comes to mind straight away is the one scene in My Hero Academia, the anime. It's a fantastic anime, and it's in season 1 where All Might is fighting the No move for the first time. And the way he pushes himself to beat this thing is fantastic. And I could watch that episode over and over again, but I couldn't rewatch entire shows over and over again. I can't do it.
I have the same thing with there's a film. It's one of my favorite films, The Raid 2. But more often than not, me and my mate just end up getting drunk and watching just the fight scenes from The Raid 2 rather than just the whole film. And it's. That film's amazing. If anyone's not seen the Raid films, go check them out.
I do the same. with the ending of Blade. Like, Blade as a whole film hasn't aged well, but that bit after he comes out of the chamber where his blood's being drained and he jumps down and he gets his glasses thrown and he catches them without even looking at it. I can watch all of that bit. And then he rips a guy's throat out and throws it at the next guy to blind him so that he can kick a guy in the dick to death. Like, there is literally no frame in that film that is useless. Every frame in that sequence.
See, I could rewatch films or like load this TV shows. If you've got 20 episodes and say 4 or 5 of them are like they're all 1 hour episodes, but like 4 or 5 like filler, boring episodes. I don't think I could watch the whole season again. But I've just seen off my shelves has rewatched Lost 4 times. That is nuts.
So,
that is bonkers.
I'm sorry, but okay, I'm relegating both Marcus and Tom now. Off my shelves, Chris, mate, you are my new best friend. There you go.
How'd you remove someone from a stream quick?
Apparently, you just start talking about Brad Pitt or something. I don't know. That's I rewatched Lost twice in 6 months. Once that's my claim to fame.
I haven't watched it once.
My favorite show ever.
I finish it.
Oh, man, you're missing out. But I'll save this for the Lost dedicated stream that we'll do one day. Because
we said we'd do that, didn't we? Along with Samurai Jack, and I said we should call it Samurai Chat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But sorry, mate.
I was going to say one thing I am watching at the minute. Me and my wife are watching together. So, is Vikings on Amazon Prime, and Vikings is pretty. I think we're in the 3rd season now, and it's pretty good. But I've just thought of one television show I have I will rewatch multiple times, and that is The US Office. There we go. There's one I will rewatch.
That's a great show. It's a
I've
great show.
only just done my first watch of that just in the pandemic. So.
Nice. I couldn't rewatch that. I would just like YouTube my favorite clips from that show. I couldn't rewatch the whole show. Yeah.
Or just redo with the memes. There's a lot of memes.
Yeah,
that's all you need, right?
That's all you need. But I couldn't for me. I think rewatching stuff. It's a time thing. Like I've already watched it. I've used my time for that, and I've successfully completed this. And now I want to use my time for something new and something that is worth the time. You know what I mean? I don't want to use my time to watch stuff I've already watched. Do you get it? That's my thought process on the whole thing.
I mean, I don't get it because I'm there rewatching stuff I've seen a million times, and I've got like this whole bookshelf here of stuff that I haven't really even read yet. But okay, I'll rewatch Samurai Jack again. Cool.
I agree with Rebel by Design, and I think this is similar to what Phil was saying, that most of my rewatching is just having it as background noise, because I've done the same thing with How I Met Your Mother. Like, I'm not actively watching it. It's just, I'd rather not watch that than not watch Big Bang Theory on E4 for the 18th time this week. Like, that's all it is. It's just, I'd prefer to not watch something else, so I'll have that on. But what I was going to touch on, Scott, you talked about My Hero Academia, and obviously not a manga guy. But I the one thing I can rewatch, just like one random episode, when you need a bit of a cry and you can't justify watching Coyote Ugly the entire way through, I'll watch the Moomin Rider episode of One Punch Man, where it's the sea monster, the giant sea king. If you watch One Punch Man, One
Punch Man is great.
You know the episode I'm talking about then, when Moomin Rider is like, I know I can't beat you, but I'm at least going to try, and it's raining, and then everybody cheers him on. Oh, fuck me, man. That episode
is fantastic.
Does it make you cry? Can you at least give me that so I don't feel as bad?
It was a long time ago. Like, I've only watched it the once because I don't rewatch things. And I remember that scene, and it was a cool scene, but I don't remember being emotional over it. But I do get emotional over a lot of things, so I probably did. I'll give you that.
What's the dumbest thing you've cried at? And I bet you I could match you at least.
I've cried at the Transformers movies
The Michael Bay ones or the animated?
Yeah, the Michael Bay.
Oh, what?
Why?
I just need
What,
to
at what
explain-
point?
They're
I
emotional.
mean, to be honest,
In the 3 hours of my life, I'm not getting back.
I got forced to see that one. Was it the last night or something night
That's the
with
fifth one.
KNIGHT? That whatever that one was, I got dragged to the cinema, and I probably cried. Yeah.
And
Like,
pain.
It was the second one that got me particularly emotional because it was like when the mum and dad were kidnapped, but Sam Witwicky needed to go and like he was like, I need to go and do this, and his dad's like, no, stay, and it got me emotional, like that kind of family bond thing. That is that what got me.
You see, I don't cry in sad moments like that where people are dying or losing loved ones in a movie. I tend to cry at the more fuck yeah moments. Like I cried at Endgame.
Yeah.
Like whenever they're all coming back through all the portals or whatever. Like I cried at things like that. Like the real kind of like, oh, like you've so much adrenaline and emotion, you can't really let it out apart from cry. Yeah. I also cried at that. I forget the name of the movie, but someone will tell me it was Jennifer Aniston and Owen Wilson or Luke Wilson. One of the two of them had the dog.
Yeah.
Marley. Is it Marley and Me? I cried at that, and I really felt really ashamed. I cried, and I was in the cinema with my girlfriend at the time, and it was one of them ones where I can feel the tears dripping, like starting to build up and fall down. But I'm in the cinema and it's packed, so I'm kind of like trying to like do that without people behind me or in front or whatever, like seeing this big fella who's looks like wooden girl and he stage of his life, but he's trying to like wipe away a wee tear. So I cried at Marley and Me. Sorry everybody, don't be ashamed of me.
Legit, Adam, have you noticed that this is what every conversation turns into on our live streams?
It's like, when did you cry?
Yeah, like every time I've had one of these live streams now, I just end up talking about crying for some reason.
It seems like the staple question for everyone.
Yeah, it's all I bring to the community. Like,
you should just make like a little jingle for it, a little animation or something.
Yeah, it's the cry.
Boys to Men Enter the Road because it's the greatest song of all time. And then we can be the Omni Boys to Men, which is a name that I'm trying to get going, but nobody seems to agree with me. So I'll keep saying it.
I'm game.
Thank you. Done.
I just like being included in anything, so I'm.
Yeah, me too.
I'll cry if I have to cry. I don't care. Legit, I've got two phases of crying though. I've either got sort of like my stubborn crying. Do you know, like movie crying where it's like, and you act dead tough and strong, and then I've got like there's no middle ground.
Ugly crying.
Yeah, the thing that recently made me ugly cry was It's a Sin, that Channel 4 show about AIDS in the 80s. That really fucked me up. That was so sad. Like that is the saddest show I've ever seen, and it's great. It's one of them kind of like a war film. I recommend everybody watch it once, but know that it's gonna like kill you inside. But then the other side of me, one time cried at a Nicorette advert.
But you didn't have that pair of knickers, like what?
Nicorette.
No, Nicorette, the chewing gum. It's even dumber. It's not like I'll never get to take them off. It was more. But yeah, like, do you remember that Nicorette advert a few years ago where the guy had like a packet of cigarettes stuck to his hand and he just couldn't get them off, and he kept trying to do everything to get this packet of cigarettes off his hand, and then all of a sudden the song goes really sad, and he just takes it off his hand and puts it in the bin and walks away, and I was like, that's fucking beautiful. I don't know why. That was the saddest 30 seconds of my life, besides, my first time, but we're not going to get into that here. But...
Wow. Seems like we just did.
Have you ever cried at a comic?
Why the Last Man?
Yeah, that's my only. Yeah.
And I was on
Why
a bus.
the Last Man? The last issue.
Oh, don't know. Spoilers. You did the thing.
It's the end. It's the same for me with the only TV show that's ever got me close to tears was the very last issue. The very last issue of Lost. Very last episode.
6 years of my life.
No, it's the bit with the dog that got me. Spoilers for a 10-year-old. No, wait.
That's okay.
Bloody hell, Lost is old now. It came out in 2004. Fucking hell. Okay, that's gone quick.
So how old were you when it was out, Adam? Just trying to do the
When
math.
it was out, I don't know. That's too much math.
How old he is?
Yeah, I'm 34. I don't know. You work it out. 2004.
I'm the oldest one here. Goodness.
Do you remember when we first realised that we both knew Shawnee B?
Yeah.
How happy we both were. It's this channel that when Lost was coming out and when it was in its peak, there was a guy who was doing like secrets and recaps about Lost, and I watched every vid. I looked more forward to his videos sometimes than the episodes because he went so in depth about like the philosophers that did reference and stuff like that. That I really enjoyed it. And then it was like, okay, guys, so next week is the series finale. Look forward to my Lost secrets and recap. And then he disappeared. His channel had nothing. And then literally last year, he was like, okay, guys, here's my secrets and recap for the finale, like 10 years later, as if nothing had happened. And you mentioned Lost. And I was like, oh, yeah, I only recently remembered Lost because of this channel. And we both realized that we'd been watching it the entire time. And it was almost like cathartic when it's like, oh, my God, we've both been for the same journey and waiting 10 years for one guy to finish one video.
It was literally 10 years. And he just disappeared. Nothing. Just nothing. And I can't believe that the Lost finale is 10 years old last year. That's insane. I feel old. But yeah, I mean, it makes me feel better that my last video didn't come out for like a few weeks. Yeah. I mean, that guy had 10 years. Yeah.
That must have been
10 years till my next video, though, I guess. So we'll see.
I want to see this haul. I want to see what you picked up in this box. You mentioned
next month's going to be a big haul because, well, I'll be honest, right? So I did March's haul. I only uploaded it like yesterday or the day before. I can't remember when it was. So we're already nearing the end of April, and I just uploaded March's haul. But that's because during this whole time, I've just been piling stuff up in one spot. So I don't know if everything in March's haul was actually everything in March. So it's possible that some stuff from March is going to make it into April's haul because I can't quite remember where the line was. So it all just went into one pile. So April's haul might be quite big because of that, but also it just might be quite big because I'm ridiculous. And it was my birthday month as well. There's lots of excuses I could give, but it might be a big one.
Treat yourself.
I do that anyway, and yeah, it's my birthday month. That just gives me extra stupid excuses. So yeah,
I'll send you these books finally at some point, and they'll be in next year's birthday haul. Knowing how
hang on to them, like we can do the meetup thing. You can give them me and save on postage.
I do like saving money, so that's a good tip. I think
but you'll end up spending more money on beer. You're right.
Oh, yeah. And we're meeting in Nottingham, I believe, or was it Northamptonshire? I don't know. I can't remember.
One of the N ones.
Yeah, but and I think there's comic book shops at both, so I'm probably going to spend more money anyway. I think we're going to wrap this up in the next 5 minutes so that we can all have like a chat where we get even more drunk. So we'll probably just be wrapping it up. But
off my shelves is my spirit animal. Like, look at the last.
It's funny because I remember when I used to be your spirit animal, and now I'm not. But I'm not jealous or anything.
See, whenever I have done haul videos in the past, I've purposely left things out in fear of like my wife finding out what I've spent. So I tried to spread it out over a few months, just so she doesn't think I've spent that much in 1 month.
That's a smart move. That is. I just want to give a shout out to Joe Corallo. He's got a book that's coming out soon, and I'm going to say right here, I want to get you on an MDC. So if I say it on a video, we kind of have to step it up. He's written books before. He's also done podcasts. So just want to give him a shout out whilst he's there. But yeah, so we're just going to wrap this up sort of now. So firstly, I want to say thank you to all three of you for joining me on this. In what would happen in a judicial court, would you like to present your closing statements?
Phil?
Well, I've been in a court multiple times, so I'm sure that's fine. I'm kidding, I've never been in a court. Yeah, just thanks for having us on. We're delighted. Like I say, we want to kind of play our part in building this UK community and so on, and even further. And the fact that we're all connected and so on is good, and it's healthy for us all, really. So, but yeah, just anyone who maybe likes the sound of my voice, who's in the chat that hasn't subbed to me, and you'll find me in this is my tag or whatever you want to call it for Instagram and for YouTube.
There's a link in the description as well, so that you can just click straight through to it.
Nice.
Excellent. And I am very arrogant and very brash, but I usually back it up. You'll not regret subbing and following me on Instagram.
You set a high bar there for the first closing statement. I'm not gonna lie.
That's okay. Scott knows I'm quite arrogant, so it's okay.
What? Marcus, thanks a lot for having us on. Adam, great seeing you again, and Marcus, it's been fantastic meeting you and chatting with you. I hope that me and Phil have reached new people. That's all we want to do. We want to, like you said earlier, get the community going and growing and just get everyone together. But yeah, like I really want to tell people that Comic Airwaves tomorrow is going to be awesome and great. And yeah, tune in, please. It's going to be fantastic. We work really hard on it every month, and and we have mugs. If you want to get one, just ask and we'll send you one.
We are mugs. We have
one,
mugs.
please.
Yes,
yeah, we'll
just after you get one. Thank you.
I'll sort out for you later. It's been fantastic fun. My channel consists of me doing mystery unboxing with me valuing them at the end to see if they're worth the money. I'm doing some videos now and again with my partner Amy, where she judges my monthly poll list by their cover. And we've done one so far, and people seem to really enjoy it, and that was fun. So I try to do a bit of everything, try to come off the beaten track and just try and, change things up a bit. But that's me. But thank you so much. I've loved it. This has been really fun.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
it's been good fun. Yeah.
Adam?
There's not a lot going on my channel at the minute, but I'm hoping to kind of switch it up and start doing some new stuff in the not too distant future. So just keep an eye out. So mainly the main thing I want to say this week is just please tune into Comic Airwaves tomorrow. You guys. Genuinely, I love what you guys are doing, and I think it's just really refreshing, really unique, and it's always a good laugh. And I, as a viewer, always feel very involved. Even before you knew who I was there, kind of, it always felt like a good experience as a viewer. So,
cheers.
Yeah, just please, anyone who's got the time tomorrow, watch it live and join in the fun. And if you can't watch it live, just please check it out on the replay. Because it's still good fun.
It's very replayable.
It is, exactly. So even though Scott himself doesn't rewatch anything, he is advocating
how
for
good
rewatching.
Stuff is to rewatch.
Exactly.
And the Nerd Herd is also really good to rewatch and re-listen to on the podcast.
And big shout out to Dino as well. Just the Nerd Herd every Wednesday, like clockwork. There's a new episode, and it's always good fun there as well. Gives you an excuse to read your books that you've not read for a while, which is the best thing ever. So,
cheers, man. Thanks very much.
Yeah. I think this has been a great episode. I've personally really enjoyed it, even though I've been very loud and very dominating. I can't lie. I feel like I'm sorry if I interrupted anybody at any point, and by that I mean I probably interrupted everyone at every point. But I've just had such a great time with you guys. This is what the MDC was about for me. It was about me connecting with new channels, learning about other people, having different conversations, and I've really enjoyed this. I hope at some point in the future, whether it's on another MDC or maybe even on one of your guys' videos, maybe we could link up again. I think there's a great UK vibe. I'm not going to put you on the spot right here, though, so don't worry about that. But yeah, I'm going to do a special, and I announced it in an Instagram post, but I'm going to properly announce it here. I'm going to do a special 1-year anniversary live stream on May the 3rd. It's a Monday. It's a bank holiday Monday in the UK, so you've all literally got no fucking excuse to not tune in.
It's my wedding anniversary that day. I have the pick between Marcus and my wife now. It's like, what do you pick?
She'll understand,
which
right?
do you
That's
pick?
why you married her.
So, wait, you've got wedding anniversary plans that don't involve me. Okay, that sounds believable. I hope you have a good wedding anniversary anyway. But yeah, that will be a stream that's happening because May the 3rd is the anniversary of my first ever video. So I want to celebrate it with you guys. I'm not going to say too much, but you will want to make sure that you tuned in live. Take that as you want. But yeah, make sure you check out everybody's channel here. Make sure that you tune in for Comic Airwaves tomorrow. It's definitely going to be one that you don't want to miss. All of their links are going to be in the description down below. I want to say a massive thank you to all three of you for joining me today. The MDC wouldn't exist if you guys weren't showing that support for it. And I know we've been talking off stream, off camera for so long that it felt like this is long overdue. And I hope that it's not long overdue next time, whenever it is, wherever it is that we end up speaking. But yeah, thank you for joining me. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in. Like I said, check out the links. Yeah, I'm just repeating myself now. So stay safe. Stay reading the best books that you can find. And stay mad, all you dogs. Woof, woof. See you at the next live stream.
Woof, woof. Bye-bye.
Bye.